Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here on HighVibe.tv for Deep Love Tarot, your weekly love tarot horoscope and report for this week of May. We're doing it on the 26th through the 31st of 2020. I know it was Memorial Day. We did take a holiday, but we are here for you. So this is definitely going to be a little bit of a shorter week, but just in time for the craziness. Make sure that you check out HighVibe.tv. All the links are down below. That's because that's where we do exclusive content. That's what this network is all about. We have awesome apps. We're on Apple TV, iOS, Android. We're on Roku. Make sure that you check us out. We also have an awesome website where you can stream all our content. We also do live shows with live chats involved and so forth, and tons of other things like the school. I also have an awesome video out right now called 2020 What's Next. It's all the predictions that I have for what's next. I filmed it on April 24th. So it's all about my predictions about what the rest of this year is going to look like, how to position yourself. And I go into all the mundane events of the world, to all the craziness and all the stuff going on in your personal life, love life, everything. I cover it all. Make sure you check it out. It's available for purchase on the HighVibe.tv website under paid video section.
It's a spicy meatball.
How are you feeling like a spicy meatball?
I'm always feeling a little bit spicy, my brother. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? Look at Davey in that fucking pastel. It must be springtime. It must.
I mean, you know, I'm trying to act like it's May going, you know, like, but you know, with this new world, it's kind of hard to feel like the old school things like, oh, you know, you wear like a little bit of color and it's the spring or something. I was just like, I might try and remind people
Chirp,
it's spring.
Chirp, chirp, chirp. The birds are
Time's
singing.
kind of gone now. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
How many buttons you rocking off? I feel like we're pretty identical here.
1, 2. Wait.
Hey.
1, 2.
You can't trust no one that.
Just 2.
There you go. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm rocking 2.
But you know, if I were to rock all the chains and go all Italian on you and get, you know,
you can't
like
trust
I'm at the beach and like be all Guido, like looking at me like, yo,
all the way up.
Maybe that'll attract more love into my life, you know, is actually, I think that those older guys on the beach, when they do that, they do. And then they put on the aviators, like they might have something going, even though as kids, I think we all thought, oh, ew. But as I'm getting older in my life, I'm starting to go, wait, makes sense.
You gotta fucking flaunt it.
Gotta flaunt it. Hey, the ladies flaunt it. Why can't the guys flaunt it?
I know, it's always so interesting to me when you see on like dating sites and stuff. I don't know if you notice if they're like shirtless pictures or selfies or gym pictures or no-go. And it's like, that's like majority of women's pictures on dating sites are them in bikinis or yoga pants or doing yoga. So I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not necessarily about it, but it's a little confusing to me. You got to appreciate your body. You got to be confident to put it out into the world and let people see that beauty. Got him.
Well, beauty is definitely a big part of right now in life. It is Venus retrograde still, and I'm sure you all were watching, wherever you were at during Memorial Day weekend, every time the sun was setting, you could see that faintness of Venus starting to disappear and go away. And now things are about to get intense in people's love lives. We're talking intense because next week we have the conjunction of Venus. We have this beautiful, beautiful conjunction, which they do call it an inferior conjunction. The sun gets burned out, but it's a Cazini as well, which means that we are going to see the exact alignment. And I wish right now I could show you, but by the way, Deep Astrology is going to be tomorrow because of the fact that we're doing this show tonight. But on tomorrow's Deep Astrology, I'm going to go into actually showing the physical aspects from a space view of what it looks like. Because from Earth's point of view, Venus is next week going to pass Earth. It's like NASCAR taking the inside lane and passing us. So this is the moment this week that's the buildup, and Mars is starting to being squared to this Venus retrograde, and it's all meeting up, and we're going to see Sun-Mars square with a Venus retrograde. It's intense what's building. So this week is the buildup, and you want to start making your choices in your life right now, especially when it comes to love. Like, is this the road I really want to go down? You know the road that you want to go down. It's intuitive to you. Spirit's guiding you to it. But you know what? People become escape artists too, right? And they go down roads that like are weird and make no sense. And then, so there's like three things. There's like the road we know not to go down. Then there's the road that's like, I know not to go down this, but I just want to go down to see what's there. And it fucking makes no sense. But just because I'm trying to fill some sort of gap. And then there's the, I know this is the road. So, all the gauges on the fucking display of your fucking vehicle right now are going, because this is Gemini. And so it's kind of hard. It's like, are all the fluids okay? Are my emotions okay? You got the feels?
Gotcha feels.
So, I don't know. It's just good to be back with you all. Actually, I need to get in the chat. Do you have anything to say? What are you feeling like this week before we go into the collective?
I had an eventful weekend. Got to hang out with some friends. Got to hang out with you for a little bit outside of the office.
We did. We actually went to a normal party.
We did. Had a nice BBQ.
It was weird. It was kind of weird. I was like,
really
wow,
good.
We're at a place where people are all acting normal and life is normal. It was very different.
Yeah. It's funny having conversations with individuals that you haven't seen in a long time or just meeting for the first time throughout this and hearing their opinions and their fears. And at the same time, they're sitting there sharing a shot glass with a bunch of people. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Or I feel like people have like a part of themselves that maybe they realize they never showed themselves to people. And now it's like, this is my opportunity. I'm not going to live in regret. Because it's almost like this shutdown of life was kind of like if everybody got put on their deathbeds and it was like, let me look at all the shit that I regret that I didn't do in my life. And then I feel like, oh, I have another chance. So now I'm just, if I go back in the world and I get another shot, I'm going to be more like this. Mm-hmm. I've been noticing that in some people. I'm like, that's what you want to talk about, or that's what you want to show. Okay.
Well, hey, as long as they're making positive change, healthy changes, that's going to bring some fresh love into their life. And it's all groovy, baby.
Fresh love, 24-hour love. If you guys didn't see, Craig made the graphic for this week's 24-hour love fest.
We're always open.
Well, I think that love is always open, right? But we're always open too. So if you never watched a show before, this is where we are going to talk about the astrology. I'm going to say this though, because of the fact that this show, I think last week was 4 hours. It was like 3.5.
No, it was like 4.
Okay. I can't sustain doing the horoscopes on High Vibe for the sun signs, the dailies, the weekly intuitives, the weekly tarots, deep astrology, full disclosure, and all the other special reporting that I do. I mean, I'm already doing 25 videos a week. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to now astrologically going to do the collective where I talk about the actual planets and how it's affecting the collective. But when I get to your sun sign, I'm just going to give you a couple lines with not even mentioning planets. I'm just going to give you the horoscope. And you got to trust that I am doing the astrology because of the fact that I gave it to you in the collective, because it's just too much for me to keep saying every planet every time for everybody. I just did that. I just literally filmed 12 videos for all 12 zodiac signs. You can go watch on High Vibe right now.
There is good news though. You can always go to High Vibe and become a subscriber, and you can get that content every day.
Every day, and you only get it on the week. Yeah, I know. So, but that's just the new way, and it is a tarot show. So, anyway, but what we do here is we are going to pull your love, and we're going to do it for the collective first. But after that collective reading, and then we're going to pull the cards, and we have a lot of different cards if you don't know here, and we also have the Astro Dice. But I do it crazy. Like, we're going to be checking with these cards, and we're going to be checking with these or these. So if I feel something's really off, I'm going to pull these Black Mirror instead of I'm going to pull the Egyptian. Depends on how the reading goes. I'm kind of throwing a curveball in here, but not adding cards, but shifting the way that would go. But we choose your sun signs after that by this awesome High Vibe Red Cup. So your sign will be at random, little bingo-ish. And that's how we make sure that Spirit makes sure that it comes through all correctly. So without further ado, Craig, I think we shall now do the collective.
Boom.
Wow, that was fucking good.
I was already
the fact
ready.
that we're live. I mean,
I was already ready. Well, now that we're not doing, the master class, I can get it little pre-programmed. Ready.
A little pre-programming.
Look at that. I even switched the camera on you. Doing big things.
You did switch it on me. That's cool.
Doing big things.
I'll start the collective reading like this. Okay. All right, collective. I was just mentioning at the beginning of this, Venus and the sun, they're getting closer, and we're going to see Venus dip out of our sight this week. And I think that it's very important for us to realize as we go deep into the underworld of Venus and Gemini, that with the North Node being in Gemini, with Mercury being in Gemini, and Mercury's going to leave Gemini and go over the North Node. And this is important because we need to communicate, we need to talk, and we need to understand the environment that we want to be in for our romantic and our love lives. We cannot continue to be in a weird place. Why? Mercury is going to cross over into Cancer this week, and it's going to be there for a long time. Guess where the Mercury retrograde is going to be? Cancer. And guess when it's going to be? June 17th. So we're already at the end of May here. This is the week of the end of the last week of May. You are about 2.5 weeks away from a Mercury retrograde. While there is a Venus retrograde, while there is a Pluto retrograde, while there's a Jupiter retrograde, and we're getting ready for Neptune that'll follow on the 22nd of June. So I'm just preparing people that this is a week where you want to use even more so the understanding of our reality, our environment, because that moon is going to, we just had that new moon Friday, right? And then where's it coming? Oh, it's going to wax to the quarter square in Virgo. And so we're going to see this Virgo moon in square to the sun and create a mutable T-square, meaning that we're going to see the moon oppose Mars in Pisces, and they're both going to be squaring the sun. And so that sun in Gemini is going to be stressed by, are you emotionally really in the environment, in the reality? That makes sense? Is it working like clockwork, or is it all fucked up and you don't feel like you're living in the purity of the environment that brings you the excitement, that brings you the life that you want? Then that Mars in Pisces, trying to make it through the craziness of Pisces, right? Like the crazy waters, and trying to swim through the crazy oceans, and trying to also avoid the toxicities and avoid all of these kind of subconscious things that hold us back. That's only going to be dealt with correctly if we're able to change our physical realities, you know, because Mars in Pisces is like swimming through, whether it's a sewage fest to the beauty of the universal dreams. I mean, I had some fucking crazy dreams last night, by the way. Maybe I'll talk about that later in the show. But I'm just saying that this is the week to where you want to realize that with Mercury now going to cross the North Node, that's important. The North Node in Gemini, what is the ruler of Gemini? It's Mercury, and Mercury's in Gemini, and it's at its fastest speed. It's going to come over this North Node, and this is going to help us understand the polarity in our life this week. Are you living in a hopeful situation where the reality is not changing, the toxicity keeps going, and you're not stimulated? Or are you going to make the smallest change right now makes the biggest change? Not this, well, in order for me to get a big change in my life, I need to do this and this and this and this and this and that. Because I think that people are getting caught up in love stories and stuff. It's like, well, in order for all this to happen, all these other things are going to have to happen. It's like, no, it's pretty fast and pretty simple. This is the most powerful and simple time of our lives when it comes to love and fast changes, as far as just zip, bip, bip, that's it. It's not this huge South Node Sag, like, well, one day and soon enough, and then when I finally understand, it's like, no, you already know. You already have figured it out. You figured it out. You know the point. You're just playing the movie continually in your head, because with Neptune being in Pisces, it is squaring the nodes. And we're going to see also the nodes as we come into June here start to come to the galactic center point. Are you aimed towards the true galactic energy of where we're going, not where we came from? Like, are you going forward into the excitement? Are you going into the Pleiades, right? The seven sisters? Or are you going into the darkness realm of like where we came from? The, like the older, and I'll be honest, the more reptilian vibe. You know, like this is us moving more into a much more, and I don't want to get all fucking too love and lighty on you all. I mean, I'm wearing a fucking green shirt already. But the fact is
pastel.
What?
Pastel.
Sorry. Did you guys celebrate Easter yet? Am I a month late? But I will say that an angelic vibe. I went there. That's up to you. And that's up to the choices that you're making right now. And where are you going? Neptune and Mars being in Pisces is like, are you in a constant toxic circle? Are you ending up in situations where you got to be careful of criminals, people who are shady, people who are, holding you back, people who are, lost, and then entering into their worlds and entering into their place? Like, this is where you want to not go into places where the facts already say no, and only go to where the facts say, oh, hell yeah, it's called signs. I've been saying it's like a message in a bottle from God. You've got the message in a bottle. Are you gonna follow that message in a bottle? It's gonna be a powerful week. Really powerful. So, we ready to pull some cards?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's pull some cards. First cards that we got for this week is, wow, the Emperor card upright. Ooh, yeah, we got to step into our power of what we really want this week. How good is this? Look at how we got the moon shining on the Emperor too. This is a cool deck. I will say that the Emperor card is truly knowing what it wants, and the Emperor is not a king. Because a king, of course, is blood, and it's got that whole thing. Like, anybody can be king if you happen to be in the right bloodline. But an emperor earns the power by knowing what it wants, the work that it does, and it's able to achieve what it wants because it's smart enough to know how to get there. And it achieves what it wants as well because it has the brute strength to just do it. It's kind of like the emperor reminds me of the entrepreneur that just continues to go and is successful, that, that people want to be, or that people will follow. People follow entrepreneurs now more than they follow anything else. If you ever noticed that, right? They're kind of the new emperors anyways, if you go deeper into it. So, I think also when you think about love and partnership, it's like, are you picking a partner that's strong and knows what they want in their life and has the courage and is going in that direction? Or are you with somebody who's kind of lost and doesn't know what the hell's going on and has lost their power? You got to be careful of those people right now in love, because sure, people need help and stuff, but in love isn't supposed to be used as this, like, I feel sorry for this person, so I'm just going to fucking be with this person because I feel sorry for them, because that's draining your own power to create your life that you want. The challenge that we got here is, the Six of Swords in reversed. So this means that people are afraid to take the whether you want to call that the ship or whether you want to call that, I like to call it the ferry to the other side. It's like looking through the window and seeing that there's a better place, but not wanting to actually go to that better place. That's the challenge. Because if we have it upright, it's like, okay, see that? And I'm taking that ship and I'm going to that other side. Because over here, it might look beautiful, but these swords are sticking into where there used to be a plant and there's not. And so the reversal is, you know what? Let me keep staying in this place. I'm too afraid to go to the other side of the bridge. Are you really going to stay on that side and not have that courage and not step and get what you really want? You have to take the ferry. As a kid, right? It's like we all got rides from our parents, probably from a school bus or our parents or whatever. But then at one time in our life, we're finally like, I don't know if I want to fucking get a ride from my mom or my dad, or I don't want to get a ride from anybody or even the school bus. I want to walk with my friends, or I want to do whatever I want. This is one of those moments where it's like that, like, ooh, I'm changing the way that I'm going to get to where I want to go in my life and who I really want to be and what kind of partnerships I want to be in, and maybe change the dynamic of a partnership for some people. Or there's going to be a lot of these aspects, but we can't be afraid to go and jump, forge the river, like an Oregon Trail. How many times did you forge the river in that game? I forge the river every fucking time. Wow, we got the star card as our overall. So it's reversed though. So it's like, overall, it's like, are you actually contemplating staying in a place where you're not truly in that pure form that's connected to the universe? It's almost like if we don't take the bridge and over troubled water, but get to the better side, it's almost like we won't reach a place of purity, of being connected with the divine, and in a place of, a reset. It's almost like overall, like, what is holding you from a reset? What is holding you from a change that's more connected in your life? That's coming up twice here, so we're going to get more clarity on that. The way that we get through the challenge is we're using the Astro card. Wow, look at that, Leo. Woo! Love. The willpower for love. Like, love should be the thing that gets you to cross that fucking bridge, not be so afraid, right? Don't you want love? Don't you want will? There's something about that, right? Leo is The most courageous sign, because believe it or not, as the Leo King, I'll tell you,
Tell us.
we might be courageous. It's because we have tremendous fears and we fucking are willing to face the fear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean that we're just courageous because of the fact that we're courageous. It's because we deal with tons of fears. And it's the fear of, oh my God, am I not going to be able to feel that happiness in my life? I am going to face whatever it is to go feel that happiness. I am going to, you know, like what gives the heart the power to beat your whole entire life to keep you alive? It's some sort of metaphysical, spiritual, beautiful essence of God, of love, and the willpower to keep it going. But if you don't want to live and you don't want to, if you don't live in that heart, guess what? That's when you usually see people with heart issues start to come up and stuff like that. So you got to have that heart there. So when it comes to this Emperor card, ooh, look at this. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. You know what? In order to be that Emperor, we got to realize that we're not in some really shitty situation. We can get out of it. Like, we don't need saving. We don't need, it's like leaving this whole story of being a victim, leaving the whole story of just being unhappy, leaving the whole story of, you know, oh, this doesn't look good, or that doesn't look the way I want to, or my self-worth, I don't know. It's like, that's your own story. The Emperor doesn't have that story. The Emperor knows that's the past and knows that it's the Emperor now. I'm moving into what I want to be. But it's almost like it's because of this. I'm tired of putting myself in this shameful position in my life. I feel shame for who I am. I feel shame for not having the greatness of love that I want. I feel shame for not being what I want. And it's removing that if you are willing to do that. Now I'm feeling for everybody, we're going to use a black mirror card here for the star card. So what did we get? Yeah, these are kind of crazy and a little bit dark, I'll be honest with you. Oh, today for tomorrow. Actually, we got a good one. So look at this. This is us actually. What you do today is going to be your tomorrow. And if you're going to stay in the today of, no, I'm not ready to step into the naked truth of a pure new setting in my life, and I'm not going to be connected to the stars, well, do you think tomorrow's going to be that way? So you keep expecting tomorrow to be different, but you're not changing today. Not going to happen tomorrow unless you change it today. And the Astro Dice, we already dropped?
Oh, damn.
There we go. All right. We got the 5th house, Moon in Pisces. So this is definitely us following the magic of our true happiness, but also it's the emotional surrender, the emotional let go, the emotional place where we have to let go of love that might be blind, right? Because it's empty or it's missing something or it's not connected to spirit, and only follow the love where the spiritual guidance is, you know, calling us, and the happiness. And I'll be honest, 5th house Pisces is all about the magical journey of happy, like imaginative, dreamy love, like, or toxic, not happy and missing and feeling like you're at the end of your rope. So where are you at emotionally with love? That's going to be a big question. And that's going to be what you need to focus on, and only put your emotions and learn to let go of the places that make you feel like it's fucking at the end of your rope. Oh my God, I'm not fucking happy, or I am fucking in ecstasy. I would call that ecstasy. Pisces 5th house is ecstasy. Like, ha ha ha, like get out the Vicks.
Yeah, I think that Emperor card is a big tell sign. I think that we all need to tap into the Emperor power, because that Emperor is going to make those swift decisions as to what's going to work and what's not going to work. He's not going to waver, or she's not going to waver. That's you, but it's not going to waver in this decision. And so it's like, are you going to allow someone to make you miss that ferry and to make you miss your destiny? Are you just going to wait back and wait for someone? No, you need to make that decision on whether or not it's worth it to wait for that ferry, or if you're going to step on that boat and sail the hell out of there. Are you going to go and achieve? Are you going to go grab that star? Are you going to go get that universe? Going to go get that love? Or are you going to wait? Are you going to let it all just sail out away? I think that that's a big decision that needs to be made. Are you going to be strong enough to make those decisions and cut the ties that need to be cut? That's up to you.
I like how you said sail away, and with that today and tomorrow card, it's kind of like what you do today is going to be a result of tomorrow. So it's like this whole, everybody that keeps pushing things till tomorrow, it's never going to happen until you do it today. Like, oh, you want happiness tomorrow? Well, you better fucking do it today, because it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to be, oh, tomorrow when I'm, especially because that was that star card reversed. And I liked how you said, like, and you brought more of the universal aspect to it too. It's almost like, are you connected to the universe, or are you denying yourself of a connection to the universe? And you're expecting that maybe the universe will be connected with you tomorrow, but you're not connecting with it today. And you're letting, I love how he said, missing the fucking boat. Actually, he said something different, but I'm going to say it just straight up. Missing the boat. You know, I think Rick Warren made a book. He's a Christian guy. And I think it was like, they made a movie, a Christian movie. It was like, you know, like, what was it called? Fuck. It was something like totally like missing, you know, the whole like, you know, when in Revelations and like, you're going to go to heaven. It's like, what it was called, missing out or missing something. I forgot what it was, but are you going to like, and I know that that's a triggering thing for people, right? But it's like, I mean, if you're a fisher and you miss going out in the morning, you know, you might miss the best fishing, right? I mean,
is it the way home?
What?
Is it the way home?
Oh, well, I think the movie was about people who didn't make it to heaven because of the rapture.
Oh, Left Behind?
Left Behind. That's what it's called, Left Behind. So are you going to be left behind in love? Woo! I just called it out. Just brought it out. I don't give a fuck either. Ooh. All right. Moving to the first sign. Are we at 1,000 yet? Oh, we're almost there. Remember at 1,000 we do a collective reading. I know it's late. I know a lot of people. First sign that came out was Virgo, that it fell on the ground. So that's kind of unique. Virgo falling on the ground, huh? Maybe, well, you just got picked back up. Maybe you can get a little pickup this week. By the way, my Virgo brother, my nephew is due literally May 31st, and she's already, whatever they call it, dilating a couple centimeters or something. And they were in like the jacuzzi trying to get that baby out last night. I tried to go over there, and I was like, oh, I think I'll pass tonight. But, you know, Uncle Leo King here might be actually a real term that I can use any second. So, I don't know. About to happen. About to be an unks. To a Virgo brother that I love very much. But
Lowly Lyle.
Yep. So Virgo's big question. Are you and your relationships making sense for your long-term goals? Are you making long-term goals or not? That's the big question of this week. And you have to rethink your long-term goals and the roles that you play. Are you in a role that you're going where you need to go? You know your life needs to make major changes, and you know that you need to be happier. How are you going to do that? Are you willing to risk it all for the happiness in your life and do more, or stay in the same bullshit as far as the same repetitive hamster wheel? Your card for this week to start off with is the Temperance card reversed. So it's definitely not a normal schedule. It's not a normal day-to-day life that you're used to. The universe is kind of pulling you out of the normal way that life flows. And I think that a lot of this is because for some reason, it's not building the beauty anymore in your life. It's also not building, you know, the way that you want to feel and love. So there's something that's pulling you in another direction. It can be positive too. It just could be like, you know, my brother's about to have a baby, right? So it's definitely not going to be a normal week, right? Like it's like, oh, not going to work, have to go to the hospital. Like there's definitely going to be events that are going to pull you out of your normal routine this week in order to show you something more beautiful or something that is not beautiful too. So you're going to have to pay attention to that very intensely. Your challenge card for this week is, wow, the Tower card in reversed. So I think that this is definitely this avoidance this week of like having a catastrophe happen. But, you know, maybe the universe is pulling you out of your normal routine to show you where the catastrophes are, that just allow them to happen, or some things have reached some sort of peak. Maybe it's in yourself. Maybe it's the way that you live your life that needs to come to an end because it's not allowing love in, or it's not allowing the happiness to be in if you're single or even in a relationship. So there's definitely lifestyle ways that you're living isn't allowing to bring in the love that you want. Even if you are in partnerships, there's got to be changes in that. Your overall card that you got is the 10 of Cups in reverse, which, you know, this is one of the best cards for love, but it is in reversed. So there is something to say about, you know, the dreamy vision that you want, the beautiful home and family, and oh my gosh, all the dreams in the world. Well, is that really going to come together? You know, I think that a lot of questions are having to do with the kind of schedule you're operating, the day-to-day life that you're operating. And are you also putting yourself in places that aren't beautiful or with not beautiful people? And it's catastrophe energy and you're just not wanting to look at it. So it's like going out with a fucking person that like is a piece of shit and you know that. Like, are you really going to get that fucking beautiful vision you want? Or are you just trying to satisfy yourself in an unbeautiful way, which is going to make you feel unhappy anyway? We get through this Tower card with the Pisces card, which is definitely, you need to be in spiritual alignment this week. Anybody who's not in spiritual alignment or tries to act all hard or act all like they fucking are, you know, cool or they whatever, or has just something that they, if you try to talk spiritual with them or even get spiritual with them, they wouldn't even know. That's a big red flag. And I think that part of this too is your subconscious energies of where you're avoiding in your own life and your own love story. These things that need to come to an end, the way that you're living your life, because there's major things that are trying to come into your life, but they can't because God doesn't want them to come in fully the right way because of the way that you're going about it, the way that there's things that just need to come to their full peak here and allow it and not be afraid either. Believe that something coming to an end actually brings this new beginning for you. With this Temperance reversed, we got the 9 of Pentacles upright, which is definitely a card of independence, but knowing your power, that the universe can come to you when you know your power instead of you running after things. So stop running after things this week. Like, even though that you're on not a normal schedule, it's like, this is a great time because this is where you find your power and you know how to draw the things in that you want in your life instead of running after everything. You know, you have to start to find the power from within yourself. That's going to attract a much more beautiful situation in your love story and in your life. I'm going to pull the Egyptian deck for that 10 of Cups. And what did you get here? You did pull the Hermit card. So you have a lot of wisdom that maybe that you need to kind of start to follow. Maybe you need to follow somebody who has more wisdom, if it is romantic too, or somebody who has more knowledge. I feel like this is getting out of some really toxic situations in your own personal life, just in how you live, Virgo, for your happiness, and people that are kind of a waste of time, people that really don't hold the weight. And I think that don't have the ultra knowledge, because in order for you to get this 10 of Cups of reversed, to make it not reversed, you're going to need the Hermit here. So that's your inside knowing your path better and being able to saturate in the deep knowledge and really actually going about areas where there's a lot more wisdom and people who have more wisdom in your life, and even in yourself, coming into a wiser place and making wiser choices in your life to get the ultimate fantasy that you want in your life. Some reason you're kind of like throwing that to the wayside. You did pull the Sun in Gemini and you got it in the 12th house. So definitely this is getting rid of the way that you think. And I would say that honestly, it's the soul's identity of thinking about how the dream's going to happen. It's not a way that you think about things. It is a way of how to understand what the signs are saying, that this is bad and this is good. Or it's also too, I'll be honest, Gemini, 12th house, you know, you can get lost in your head or you get too much heady about these situations. Your communication might be subconsciously bringing out a bunch of weird stuff that you might not even know, just even the way that you act or the way that you do things, that you're going to have to be aware of, making changes of subconscious issues that are kind of making you feel like maybe it's outside issues when it's much more internal.
Yeah, I was picking up on that internal, because when I see those 3 reversals in a row, I like to kind of think of that as we need to look on the inside. And it's not necessarily an outside objective or an outside situation that's causing the harm to it, and it can really be us. And I think that it's time that the Virgos do look inside within themselves and kind of see where they are lacking or where they are putting up guards to not letting that natural flow of the universe and that natural flow of the energy that they are putting out to receive back into them. There's some sort of block there that I think that the Virgos and maybe all of us need to be fully upfront and honest about these situations that we're dealing with. Because if we keep those mental blocks up, we're not going to be radiating on the level that we need to. And in turn, we're not going to be able to breathe in and bring in the energy that we need to sustain this love and to sustain this life that we are actually looking for and that we actually deserve. Yeah,
well put, especially about the inside stuff. And I like how you brought up in our heads, right? We create our own blocks. But this is like really deep subconscious stuff, which Craig brings up a good point with all the reversals of going internally, because this is an internal thing for you, Virgo, right now. And it really is about that you already know the stuff deep inside. But it's like when you go to the outside, it's like, are you really going to go do that? Are you really like thinking from like, listen to your inner guidance. Stop being curious about outside things that you already know internally aren't going to make sense or aren't going to work, or putting yourself also, I'll be honest, 12th house Gemini, especially for single ones, Virgo risings out there, like, are you really going to go in places that are the most unspiritual places ever out of nowhere just because you're curious?
Don't you do it.
We got the Taurans next. We've been mooing a lot lately for Taurans. Was that a moo?
Yeah.
Yours was like, man, that was like, I don't know. Is that cow okay? is that cow chilling?
Yeah, just put out some fresh fucking patties. Rainy season's coming out. About to get some mycelium mushrooms popping up here and shortly.
Did we just go from fresh patties to mushrooms that fast?
Yeah, that's where the best mushrooms grow, on the fresh patties, bro. Come on now, you know this.
Okay, so Taurans, just the quick astrology without giving you the planets and quickness is your self-worth is definitely causing your love to go great or not great. Like, you know your value, but if you're having doubts about your physical appearance, you're having doubts about money, anything like that, that's going to come out. So you're going to have to really, this is, I think, Taurans ready to step up to the next level in love. If your relationship is not to that next level and you're taking on their bullshit, you can't go there. If you're single right now, you need to pick somebody and go on a date, or at least pick a partner if you're dating people that actually is next level for not only financial reasons, but self-worth reasons, especially with the squares that are going on. I would say that a lot of this is about that. Are you really afraid of stepping back into the world and being in love? Like, there's a part of like a fear of like, you're going to have to learn that you have to connect in order to have love. There's something about Taurans that like want to connect, but then kind of back off a little bit. You're not going to be able to do that because that's a self-worth issue, and you want control over the values and all these kind of things. And you're going to have to rethink the values of kind of what people have and stuff. Sure, you want next level, but also be a little bit more understanding of like, maybe your idea of next level might not be, especially after what's happened in the last 3 months, right? And your beliefs have to be redone. Like, there's beliefs that are creating you to miss amazing opportunities right now. The Empress came out. Wow, that is your card, actually. It's the Venus card. It's the Empress. So you are definitely, when it comes to love, finally finding, I would say, your beauty, your grace, and your power. You need to show this. You need to show this to partners. You need to show this to yourself. You need to know this within yourself. And also, you need to make sure that you pick partners that see that, they understand that, but they also carry that part in themselves, where they know their value. They know the riches that they carry within themselves, the abundance to create beautiful things in the world. Like, I think that that's all that's going to work for you. Right now, anybody that's stripped of their energy, stripped of their magnetic energy, stripped of their ability to also be feminine in a sense of knowing their value and there's vanity attached to the Empress. She's definitely a beautiful one. So, you know, that has to be part of the whole thing too, right? Like, you're not going to take no slouch. Are you, Taurus? I don't think so, right? Your challenge card that you got is that 10 of Wands in reverse. So, you know, I think the challenge is that, you know, I think that you've worked a lot, you've built a lot when it comes to, you know, moving forward in a direction of love. And then you just feel like, you know what, I don't think I can keep going. And I think that you've kind of dropped like the feeling that there could be anything great out there anymore. And I think that that's your issue, is like the second that you drop this whole idea that there's anything great, or, you know, your relationship's kind of going to crap or something, it's like, you know what, get back on that trail again. And maybe you're not putting enough weight on how serious you want love. I think that there's a deep desire for love for Taurans right now, but I think that it's almost like not putting enough energy into it. That's the issue. You're not putting enough energy. And it's also about not pushing people. It's the energy in yourself for how to show up, for how to want to be involved. That's very important. The overall that you got is the High Priestess. So you got to follow your guides. You got to follow your gut. You got to follow your intuition. Spirit's talking to you. Spirit's giving you the whole entire plan. You are so lucky. You got 2 major arcana. You didn't get that bad of a card is the challenge either. So this is a huge, great week, I would say, for Taurans in love, especially with the moon that's going to be in your 5th house of love this week. Woo! It is going to be in major aspects, but you know what? That brings that tension. Yahtzee. Wow, you got the South Node as how to get through this. So it's like, you know what? I think you've done your work. It's like, you know what? You came to a point where you had to let go of a lot of things, and especially about the way that you carry on so much weight. Maybe you're carrying on the weight of other people, or you're carrying on the weight in yourself of things that don't make you happy anymore. You got to drop it all. These are not life debts you need to carry anymore. Those are past life situations. And you might need to look deep. Look deep at your family life. Moon and Leo this week. Look deep into your heart. Past life heart issues. Look, Moon and Cancer at the beginning of this week. Look deep into your mind. These past, even in this life and last life or other lives, energies that are creating this weight on you that's blocking this amazing love story. Like in your life. Like this is shedding it all. And also not going into partnerships that are kind of on, like, I like how this 10 of Wands is just on the ground. Like, I'm fucking done. Like, don't try and get into a story with somebody who's upside down and falling on the ground. They don't even have anything going. Taurans are weird like that. Sometimes they think they can come in and save the day and repolish some old fucking, wicker furniture and shit. Like, sorry, wicker furniture went out a long time ago. The Empress card that you got is with the Chariot reversed. So it's like, I don't know why you're not going full blast into the powerful Empress that you are, Taurus. Now, if you're a male out there, just the fucking magnificent, amazing self that you are. This is definitely, why are you not just getting on the most amazing ride of your life in love? There's a big question about it. It's like you're holding yourself back because you're afraid to leave a situation in your life. Might not be a relationship, could be just because there's always a city behind the Chariot card. It's like the way that you live your life. You're afraid to live, it's like Cinderella afraid to leave the fucking slavery to go on this magical new journey. It's like, you're Cinderella, you know what I mean? Like fucking the slipper fits, but it's like you don't want the slipper to fit in many ways, and you don't want to have to leave this horrible setting and where you're just fucking on the floors cleaning and fucking. But you do. It's like, this is the hypocrisy. It's so weird. It just makes no sense to me why Taurans are in that space. I'm going to pull a Black Mirror for you because it does feel a little bit like that weirdness. And a lot of it is, wow, you're addicted. You're addicted to that life, but you're addicted and you need to let go of that because the High Priestess is here to take you to a much better place and get you out of that energy. You're addicted to these everything that holds you back from love. And it might not be that you're a drug addict or something like that, but you're just like addicted to this like feeling of serving this other entity of life that has nothing to do with bringing you greatness in your life. It's not doing anything good for you, but it's almost like you're kind of addicted to being Cinderella, and that's not going to work anymore. Sorry. The real Cinderella, not the one prior to being Cinderella, like, you know what I mean? Wow, you got 11th house Uranus, so that's super powerful. That's the ruling house of Uranus. With Sag, this means that you need to try new things, go into new worlds and experience new situations like never before, and look at the people around you in your life. And honestly, this is trying to wide open you up, Taurus, this week into radical, exciting new love situations and taking radical and rebellious, adventures. Like, you just need to be spontaneous more and say, fuck it. You need to say, fuck it about the things that are holding you back from love. If you have something you're like, well, I could go into this amazing love story situation, or this new person arrived, or this new energy, and you know what? No, I have to do this, I have to do that. It's like, that's all your bullshit you're addicted to. Like, why don't you fucking take the fucking rebellion and fucking go into the excitement of the new adventure?
Yeah, because it's important to remember that always self first is not selfish, and I know that there's times where we've been hurt and we kind of dwell on that, but you always got to remember that you do have that power. You do have that Empress power. You do have that, was it the Hierophant, right? Or High Priestess?
High Priestess,
High Priestess, that's very powerful. That's not being able to lose that essence about you. You can't forget that. Even though we go through turmoil, even though we go through pain and loss, you still have that power within you. You still are radiating that energy. And it's time that you tap back into that so you can move forward and progress in this life. Again, it goes back to the beginning. Are you gonna watch that boat just kind of sail away? Are you gonna sit there? Are you gonna sit out of the game? Or are you gonna actually be a player in it? Are you gonna use your energy? Are you gonna use your life force for the greater good for you? That's what it comes down to. Are you gonna apply that energy? Or are you gonna actually get yourself out of the hole that you're in and apply that love? Yeah,
I mean, I get it. I get it being a Taurus, right? I have a moon in Taurus, but Are you just going to still stand there and be the same cow that's like addicted to this really shitty barn that you're in and being like, oh, finally this other steer has shown up to show the way and I'm going to stay in the shithole? And then it's like, because you validate it as that it's an important thing, but really you look around and it smells like shit and every day you want out of it. But then finally when the door shows up to exit you out, you're like, no, this shit is amazing. It's like, I don't wipe. I actually wipe that stuff onto me. That was dirty.
Dirty, you dirty boy.
Not that kind of dirty either. Just like literal, that was dirty. Like Aquarius. You know, Aquarians used to be kinky as hell. Like, let's see if they still are.
Let's do it. I'm about it.
I said they used to be. I don't know what happened. The astrology Aquarius says, like, I've already been saying it, like, you need to be the ultimate love star on the planet right now, and you need to put your own happiness first. You know, Craig just said, what did you say? You said selfish is not self.
Self first is not selfish.
Right. Self first is not selfish. This is your time to put yourself and your own happiness first. If you're in relationship stuff, it's going to come out this week because it's almost like, is the value really there to your needs and wants? Like, are you valuing things that you don't even want? Relationship-wise, are you putting a lot of attachment? This is attachment energy. Are you attached to situations, especially with Saturn retrograde in your chart and with this Jupiter-Pluto in your 12th? Like, I'll be honest with you. This is about stories all coming to a close, Aquarius. And it's like, you know it is, but it's like, when are you going to take the leap towards the exciting story that gets you out of the story that's closing? Do you want to watch it till the credits are literally at the last fucking... Who sits and watches the credits? Do you?
No.
I think the only people that I know in my life that watch credits are the people who produce the movies because they fucking want to see their fucking name and they get all jerked off and they're jerking off in the bathroom about it. Like, oh my God, fucking, yeah, I'm on the credits. And yeah, did you see that at the very end? It's like, I don't know how many fucking premieres I've been to and I've been just like, okay, like, that's wonderful. Like, is that you right now? You're waiting for the credits of something that nobody else is watching but yourself? And you're not getting actually what you really want in your life. Like, maybe you think that's what you really want, but you actually want more of the happiness in your life and to get out of. You're in some tight, weird spots, Aqua. How are you going to get out of it? Well, it's pretty simple. Go fucking have the most amazing fun of your life. Go have fun. Go have fun. If you're in a relationship that doesn't want to have fun and it's all this hard work, I know that everybody says, do the hard work and I'm telling you that, you know what? Self first is, I'm stealing it. I know it's been said before, but self first is not selfish because that's what it's saying now in the astrology for you.
Yeah, that's not my original quote.
Wow, you pulled the Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's almost like, okay, are you building something that everybody doesn't even know what the hell they're doing? I feel like you're dealing with a partner or you're dealing with somebody you're dating or you're dealing with people and they don't know what they're doing. They're not that skilled. They're not that great. I think that you're dealing with whether you're talking to people or whether you're in a relationship with somebody who just doesn't even know how to put like fucking the plug into the fucking socket of life. And I think that this is an issue that you're realizing right now. I'm going to end it right there because that's a problem. Wow, you got the Hermit in reverse. That's your challenge. It's like, I think that you're kind of stuck right now in a feeling that, you know, you don't know how to get out of like being in this place of trying to gather more information and I'll be honest, Hermit reverse as a challenge is almost like maybe you're hiding to your partner, you're hiding from a lot of people, you're just kind of hiding. And I think that's a problem. How are you going to go create something great? Or how are you going to find a partner that's going to go build something great with you if you're hiding? Like, the challenge is you think that's like smart, that you're gaining more wisdom or you're gaining more knowledge. It's like, this is love. This is not something that you gain knowledge about. You know it in your heart. So I think that that's the problem. It's like you're trying to go to like, there was all those reality shows back in the day, like I think it was like Love School, or I remember Tool Academy, and do you remember the guy who won in 2010 and he fucking looked exactly like you? Everybody thought it was you.
Allegedly looked like me.
Dude, I have it on my Facebook still, the picture.
Allegedly.
in my mobile uploads in 2010. I'll never forget it. I remember posting it. I'm like, Craig fucking won Tool Academy. And everybody believed it too. You looked, even right now, you look exactly like
I feel
that.
like I used to look like T-Bill.
But
I feel like we used to look like each other when we were younger.
You and T-Bills?
Yeah, when we were younger.
So I should just start throwing T-Bills pictures at me like, Craig is a kid.
No.
But what up, Taylor? Hope you're doing good, bro. Fucking. So anyway, I would just say that. Do you really have to go on Tool Academy to figure it out? Like, no. And I'm using such a stupid example because it's like you're creating these stupid examples in your life. They might not be Tool Academy, but it might be like, well, I'm learning how to be better at home and meditate. You think that's going to help your love life right now? Really? And I'm just talking to you, Aquarians. All right, King of Swords in reverse is your overall. So you're definitely not thinking straight. You don't know which, it's like, again, three reversals. There's some deep stuff inside, and I feel like you are definitely, when it comes to thinking straight, building things, you're realizing, and it's almost like you don't want to accept the facts as they're showing up. And I think that you feel like an idiot, and you don't want to reveal that you feel like an idiot. So you'd rather stay in the situations that you're in instead of try a new situation out. Like, oh wow, you got the Saturn return card to get over your challenge. Yeah, you need to grow up. You're also maybe acting too old. I'll be honestly, like I think that's part of the issue is the Hermit with a Saturn return. I'm going to say that the issue here in the challenge is that you're acting like a grandpa and a grandma. You're a fucking Aquarius. You ain't no grandma, grandpa shit. Like you're not here right now to be at Walmart at 5:45 a.m. in the parking lot waiting for them to open the doors. You know what I mean? You got the 5 of Cups in reversed. So I think that you need to accept the sorrow and the truth and just get over it for the fact that you know that the partners you're choosing or a partner that you're with might not have a lot of the great energy that you know to go build the good things in life that you want, or even might have the values or even have the experience and you've seen over time it. Or if you're alone, it's like there you are wanting to go create something, but you're holding yourself from connecting to people and actually connecting with them to go do anything with. So, you know, like there's a lot of avoidance of the truth in both single and partnered. Single, the avoiding of the truth of connecting at all, like no. And then in relationship, I don't want to have to deal with the truth of where I know that the substance won't create anything that great and I need to figure out what the deal is there. It's a lot of avoidance there. I'm pulling a black mirror for you. Woo, with the King of Swords. You got, wow, downcast pride. So it's almost like, you know what? It's like you're not stepping into your fucking pride at all. I almost feel like you're just like putting yourself so low and I'm above pride in a way, which is actually pride itself. So you're putting pride on pride. It's like you're like proud of like not being prideful. How weird is that? I think that it's like, this is the, well, I'm not going to say that word. I've gotten in trouble. This is the stupidity of where you're at in your love story right now. Downcasting the pride and the King of Swords in reversed. It's like you're thinking about things in your love story so weird, and you want to downplay like any truth of who you really are, and you don't want to show any power in knowing what you want. It's like, no, I'm fine. Everything's okay. Everything's good. You're too afraid to reveal like your fucking achy, breaky heart.
Yeah, I concur.
Ooh, we got the North Node in Pisces in the second house. Well, it's time for you to squeak into the best situations in your life and own your value and own that pride a little bit, that satisfaction of what you need. Are you getting the satisfaction, or are you just totally, you're just like, you know what, you need to aim towards the magic of a beautiful thing. And second house is beauty. It's almost like it's okay to realize that this is not beautiful. This single situation you're in, this relationship might not be beautiful anymore. This person might not be beautiful anymore. That's life.
Yeah, I think it's a deep-seated pain almost that's like holding them back. A traumatic event that would have happened that's like touching them deep down within inside of them. It's not just like some like shallow situation they could easily get over, but it is something that you have to live through and get over. you kind of just do, enable you to move forward within that relationship or move forward to find that actual partner. But there's something you need to get over so you can take those steps to actually let people into your life, and so that you can actually build on that relationship, whether it's an existing one or a new one. But there is some fundamental issues I feel like that need to be resolved, whether that's with that partner or just deep within yourself. But I do feel like some sort of blockage that is happening here, Aquas.
Well, I think that you put it really well there about how are you going to go build anything, or how are you going to go do anything if you don't connect at all? And that even includes with what you're already connected with. So there's that whole idea sometimes when we're in a relationship, like, well, I'm in the relationship, so I'm in the relationship. It's like, you still got to learn to still connect with your truth. Like, if I'm going to use like a very triggering thing, because we got this, and I know the astrology too, with all the Pisces shit going on for you Aquarians. Like, let's say you don't think your partner is good looking anymore. That shit happens. Of course, that's a hard thing to bring up. But if somebody's going south with their, they stop showering, maybe during this quarantine, right? They fucking just were like, I'm not going to shower for like 3 weeks. I'm not going to, I don't know. Maybe it's their own internal stuff, right? Our physical appearance has to do with their or internals all the time. So it's okay. Or maybe you just don't have value in them anymore at all about something. You've got to still communicate. You're still in the relationship. You got to connect with it. You got to get to the bottom of it to either make it change for the better. Like, you have no problem telling your partner in life, like, hey, I don't like this. Like, it's not that great. I don't like when you, I don't know, keep the, relationships are so weird. Like, these aren't mine, but like from what I hear from so many clients, like, you didn't leave the fucking toilet seat down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that you let them know. I like it when the toilet seat's down. Because who knows what you Aquarians do when you guys go to the bathroom? Maybe you guys, like, I don't know, you guys are aliens. Maybe you guys pee outside of your nipples or something. I don't know. Maybe you don't want people to know that you use the sink instead of the toilet. But I'm just trying to say that when it comes to the more emotional stuff, that's where you're having more issues about the truth.
The truth will set you
Well, we're
free.
at 1,000 people, so I think it's a 1,000 collective love reading. So, if you've never done this with us before, welcome to the 1,000 collective. You have just won a free reading for you, and you get to pick a person into your space spiritually. But you have to be talking to this person. You have to be connecting to them, have an interest in them, and they have an interest back in you. Not this whole, like, somebody you've never talked to before. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, if you met them on a dating site and you just dated, to you're dating them, to you're in a relationship with them, that all makes sense. But if you fucking have not done any of that and it's just random and you send them Instagrams, but they don't respond back, sorry, can't use them. And you can only pick one person. So don't start trying to take this reading and put it on another person and be like, oh, that makes more sense for this person. No.
Don't you do it.
You have 10 seconds. 10.
9.
To pick this person. 9. 8. 7.
6. 5. 4. 3. 2.
I was trying to create ocean wave sounds.
Blast off.
4. 3. 2. 1. All right. You got him? Let's go. Well, the moon card reversed. So there's a lot of emotions there that are not being fully felt yet, or being repressed, or that you haven't fully let them feel fully yet, or they haven't let their feelings back to you, but you might be feeling it. So it might be like it's like there's this deep well of emotions that haven't come to the surface yet, and it's like getting into extreme. It's getting intense. Or just naturally you already are like, I don't know, I want to tell this person my feelings, but maybe you're scared. Or maybe you've told your feelings and you haven't heard anything back and you're like, are they scared? There's a lot of questions about that right now. Challenge card that we got here is the Page of Swords upright. So communication is definitely off. A lot of misunderstandings. And I would say that's a lot due to the emotional undercurrent going on. So it's kind of hard to communicate until you just let all the full emotions out. It's almost like, I got to let all the emotions out. Because I think the challenge is that the normal communication, the texting, the calls, and I feel like with this challenge of the Page of Swords, it's almost like, one-line sentences, just like basic shit. And you're like, I want more. And it's like, well, maybe you need to talk in person. Maybe you need to like FaceTime. Maybe you need to let them know your full feelings to open up, because I feel like that there's a good possibility for this, but the communication and the emotional levels are not being connected right now. And once they connect, they could either explode into greatness, or at least you get the truth and you can bail out and focus on someone else. Yeah, the Fool card in reverse says the overall with this person. So it's almost like you feel like an idiot, like you feel like the village idiot. Like, am I just stupid that I have these feelings and I'm trying to communicate and it's not working? Am I just stupid? Do I need to let this thing go? We're going to get a little deeper into that, but there's definitely, I would say, underlying all this is this feeling is, am I an idiot? Do I just keep doing the stupid thing with this person? Do I make myself look stupid? Maybe you've tried to talk and they're not receiving back, or, it could be vice versa, right? So are you the village idiot? We're about to find out here real soon. Well, we got the first house here with the the Page of Swords. So this is the ascendant. So it's about like, are you willing to own what you really want to say fully and have that courage to just drop the line? Like, hey, I want to talk to you. These are my feelings. I want to know where you're at. And you have nothing to lose at that point. You have nothing to lose. Zero. You have nothing to lose. You got to embody it, right? It's also the body. So maybe, you know what? You got to put your whole body into it energetically, right? Your whole energetic body into the communication, because it's almost like maybe you haven't fully let out the real feelings yet. Maybe you're afraid to really say what's on your mind and what's in your emotional field. Why'd you pull the Moon in reverse? Well, the Two of Wands, it's because you see the world that could be possible with this person. And it's a lot. It's a lot to tell somebody, like, I feel this and I feel that we could have this amazing world together. And oh my fucking God. Oh, that's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think it's really positive. But again, that's a little bit of repression, right? It's like, I mean, let's be honest. Who wrote the book on love and the love story? Because we are in a quarantine, weird world now. And as it's opening back up and everything, and the world's different and all this shit, like the whole idea of like, well, how many times do you have to go on a date? Or how long do you have to know somebody before you can feel these things in life? I think that this is all just some sort of book that we should just throw in the fucking trash. If you feel and you know something and somebody feels the same way, fucking roll with that. That's love. Like, love's instant. I always say, like, are you gonna fucking say that, well, I love my puppy that I just got after, we've had it a month. I can finally say I fully love it. No. Oh, you know what? Once I was 2 years old, I was conscious enough to remember my parents and remember my grandma, I remember my grandpa. Now I can love them because, the first 2 years they were loving me, but I didn't know them, and I need to know them when I'm 2.5 years old. It's like, what the fuck? Like, are we really taking love like that in relationships? And this Fool card, in reversed, the Death card. So I think the Fool part of you is like, being like, is this just never going to go anywhere? Is it over? And I think that's why you feel so stupid, is I feel like you feel like you've done what you can, and nothing's coming back, and it just feels like it's dead in the water no matter what you do. And I feel like you have to either give this last chance here and put it to bed, or it will transform it into what you're looking for. Like, this is where it's just like, I think that the emotions aren't really there, that haven't been expressed fully yet. And I feel like you have to see if that'll pull it out of them, or maybe they've already told them to you and now you have to do that to them. Maybe that's like why you're maybe deathly afraid of being an idiot about saying what you really feel back. And maybe you haven't put your full energy into it. All right, you got the third house with Virgo and Saturn. So this is definitely about communication. And I think the issue is the realities. It's like, oh, I don't know if the reality will fit with mine, but this is all just stupidity. The stupidity of trying to fit things together without feeling love first. The worst thing that love can do is trying to fit things together before, if you even know that the love's worth it, right? Like, so I think that, this is time to stop the mind. Both the third house and Virgo rule the mind. Stop the mind. Stop trying to change the way you communicate every time. So it's almost like, oh, well, if I maybe try this way of communication, or if I try this way, it's just like, give the full you and just see what happens and see if that will finally change it and make it the reality. If not, then you move on.
Yeah, I like that you said that about the communication, because I think that there definitely needs to be a conversation to be had with you and this individual to actually see if it is worth it, to see if you can get over some petty BS that may be going on. You know, something that you can work through, but there has to be that line of communication to really continue this love. You know, to see if it's actually going to be worth it, because I feel like we can easily get lost in the situation, end up wasting our time, you know, by not fully just committing and communicating what we're truly feeling and wanting to get out of this relationship. I think that a lot of people are guilty of wasting their time, which, you know, we don't have a lot of it when it really comes down to it. So I think it's time to have this communication, to have that talk, and see if you're gonna push forward or just kind of drop that shit to the side.
Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care about time?
It's 11:42 p.m. Pacific.
Chicago. Who's that? Who's the next one? Libras. You know they're all jumping right now. Oh my God! Finally!
You know, at least one happy Libra out there.
Oh, there's a lot more than one happy Libra out there. I can tell you that one. Whenever there's a love reading. Libras are the easiest one. Like, tell me about my love story now. They could be the most amazing thing ever, and it's amazing, and they're already weighing out the other side. Like, when's this going to shit? And then when they're in shit, it's like, when's this going good? It's like you're always going to be on the opposite side with Libra. Like, it's like I've done fucking, I don't know, 10,000 personal readings in my life. So it's like, I don't know, probably a good 1,000, maybe more Libras. I could probably one day look at how many I did and literally just like, I already know, okay, it's really amazing, but when is this going to shit? Or it's really shitty right now, when's it going really good? I'm like, it's always that's how it goes. Every time with a Libra. Again, it's hilarious. It's like never balanced enough to just be like, well, it's good, but it's, you know, I know there's some other things and I'm fine there, but I really want to know about my work. I really don't. It's like, when's this going to shit? When's this going better? For Libras, your astrology, of course, the fast version, you can watch your whole horoscope on highvibe.tv, but, there's a lot of questions about, you know, if this is really the journey you want to go to if you're in a relationship, or there's a lot of searching going on, like an endless compass that's just fucking spiraling out of control for single Libras right now on where to go. And I think a lot of it has to do with, well, your lifestyle, even in the partners Libras right now. Is this the lifestyle you really want? You know, like it looks like a dream, but then there's this reality of like, is there more? And this moon in Virgo is gonna be in your 12th house. So there's definitely going to be some spiritual truth that's going to drop its changes on you when it comes to, you know what? You need to open up now to like full love in itself. I feel that, you know, there's a part of you that's restricting love fully or accepting the latter instead of the best. So Libras are kind of in a testy spot right now. If they're going to accept decent instead of great. Queen of Cups in reverse. Definitely not feeling it. You know, that's the whole entire theme of our week this week was, do you got the feels? Well, Queen of Cups sure doesn't feel like getting reversed. She doesn't feel like she's being emotionally supported, or she's too afraid to even embrace her let's call it her womb in herself. Let's call it the mothering of oneself about your true feelings and your true emotions. They're not being met. You might feel emotionally inside, not wanting to reveal that you feel like there's something empty. Especially partnered Libras here. There's definitely, you know, you can't put on the show and dance, Libra. I know the fucking inside emotional shit going on for you right now. Not only from this card, but from the astrology as well. So we're going to figure this one out deeper. You did pull as your challenge card, the Temperance card. You know what? You think it's a beautiful life, but you're realizing it's pretty fucking boring. And you're bored too, if single ones out there. Not feeling the emotional thing. It's not as beautiful as you think it is, and it's kind of boring. You know, when I get this as a challenge Temperance card, it's like, am I really going to keep waiting for the factory to go build this car, or go build this life, or go build this relationship? Or, you know, it's like, how long are you going to sit in the lobby with your feelings and be like, Is it ever going to come out the way I want to? Like, we can't go to a fucking plastic surgeon with this relationship and fix it. You know what I mean? It's got to be natural beauty.
Got to get that.
And I'm not putting that down. I'm just using an analogy, by the way. 10 of Pentacles in reversed. Yeah, definitely when we get a Queen of Cups in reversed and a 10 of Pentacles, these both represent the home, the emotional foundation physically, and just the emotional foundation spiritually and self, and they're both in reversed. So I would say that this is like feeling really bored and not feeling like this really is a place of abundance right now in your love life. And I think that there's Libras out there that are also lying to themselves and accepting the boring and thinking that it is going to create something great. But inside, it's like there's so much more that you see, but you don't say anything about it.
That's a key word right there.
Wow. You pulled the Venus love card over this Temperance. So are you going to finally allow love in your life, single Libras and partnered ones? Are you going to be honest about the balance? Are you going to balance out finally the truth about if it's really love or not, or if it's just the love of this maybe satisfaction of like some sort of rooted foundation that you finally have in your life that actually isn't going to get you to where you want to go? Or you pushed down some of your emotions because you thought that maybe you were too much of a wild card because of the emotions that you really want to feel, and so you're accepting the latter. Ooh. Pulled the Emperor card, which is actually our first card in our collective deck. Interesting, though, that you're getting this with the Queen of Cups. You need to have the power and the to go into emotional waters and nurture those feelings and be the queen that fulfills her true needs fully. But you have to have that strength and that confidence to do that. And there's a lion that's sitting in this deck, which I love. That courage that it takes to stand for the emotions that you really want to feel. I feel that Librans are terrified of either stepping into emotions, whether they're single or in partnership. It's just different about how they're doing it. I think that there's Libras out there afraid to go into new emotional waters if they're single. And I feel that partnered Libras right now are terrified to actually come out with the true feelings and how they're feeling right now. And because of that, I'm going to pull a Black Mirror card, and you've got Calling the Storm. There's definitely a storm when it comes to the foundation in your life right now, and when it comes to feeling the wholeness of having everything that you want around you surrounding love. Or you could even be dealing with a storm, literally as the person that you live with, or it could be an ex that you're dealing with that's trying to cause a storm by them being in the environment of your home. I think that partnered Libras definitely are calling for a storm to kind of bring out the truth because you're afraid of disrupting what you think is this beautiful foundation, which is really not. So the storm's going to show that. But you're like waiting for the storm to come instead of being the storm yourself to the truth. You're just waiting for the tornado to rip it all apart, because then at least you can say, oh, look at, I didn't do that. That's all this week. Aquarius, 4th house, North Node. Wow, North Node's been popping up a lot. I don't think, it's always been South Node on these freaking dice. I will say this. This is where you have to find a way now to focus on those rebellious, radical emotions and connected feelings that you need to feel, and start disconnecting from places where you're not fully connected emotionally. It's like, if you're not fully connected, this is not something where, you know what? Oh, the fuse popped and I can replace the fuse. No, it's broken. A lot about feelings right now. A lot about whether or not you're going to connect to feeling, whether you're single or not, or in a partnership. There's definitely issues in partnership with fucking the connection of the feelings. Or it could be the other person. Where you deal with other people in Aquarius. Might be the other person. Maybe actually the truth of the emotions might come of what they feel. Maybe you're like, what are you talking about? I love this fool so much. I fucking, oh my God. La, 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 la. And then they come this week and be like, you know what? I'm not, blah, 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 blah. What? There's definitely unpredictable emotions this week. It could be good. With Uranus energy, especially Aquarius, right? It is a fucking gamble. It's either, as an astrologer, I gotta tell you, it's either gonna go fucking the wild out of nowhere good or the wild out of nowhere bad. Like, I'm just preparing the Librans.
I think it's good. I think they need to put themselves out there into that sunshine. I think that they need to get themselves out into the world. Like I said before, I think those Libras need to go out and touch somebody. Simple as that, baby. Put yourself out there. Simple as that. Whether it's with the person that you're with, but put yourself out on the line. Maybe express a feeling that you've been kind of holding within, that you're not so confident that you want to radiate out into the world, but it is something that you truly desire. You need to speak on it so that you can act on it. You need to put it into motion. You need to go out and get it. Like I said, let that sun touch the face and go out and touch somebody.
Sages.
Sag.
Watch the high vibe scope, Sages.
Boom.
Boom. All right, Sag. You know it's the most craziest time of the relationship life that you're living right now. I was about to sound like, a Christmas song, like it's the most wonderful time of the year. I would say that it's the most wild changing relationship time of your life in relationships ever. Ever. For real. And I know you've already been through crazy ones, but this is now the craziest ones that are building up this week with a lot of mutable energy and affecting. For you, is this the long-term goal that's going to get you where you want to go, or you just keep going down a hole? Are you going to realize that this hole that you keep digging emotionally right now with these crazy relationship stories that make literally no logical sense? You need to use your mind now. The South Node's in your sign. It's not doing well for you because it's losing confidence in yourself based upon the craziness of the hole that you keep digging in a place that you don't want to go. It's time to get out of this hole. Mars in the 4th digs an emotional hole, and Pisces, it gets lost. You need to figure this out. This is going to get crazier next week. Do you want to go into crazy, or do you want to go to crazy, amazing, the most wonderful relationships of your life? This is a big question. Sages are on the ultra, been going on for years to come to this point. And it's next week. But this week is that buildup, and are you just going to wait for the zit to get so big to where literally they have to get a doctor to fucking extract it? Have you ever seen that old YouTube video where it's like, and it's like the whole back is the zit? Is that what you're dealing with right now? Can't put makeup on that shit no more. 9 of Swords in reverse. You're terrified, but there's nothing to be terrified about. You're over waking up to the anxieties of, what am I going to do? Like, this is a great card because the 9 of Swords says, I'm done being terrified. I'm done being scared. So I feel like you're done being scared of facing the truth. You've seen the nightmares of the truth, but you've also seen the glory of the truth. So what's there to be scared of now because you know the truth? The 9 of Swords definitely is a wake-up call too. But when it's in reverse, you've had this wake-up call, and maybe you're finally willing to listen to it instead of being like, no. The challenge card that you got is the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a card, the challenge. Like, are you done with the victim story? Are you done helping a victim? Are you done being in poverty romantically? Romantic poverty is your challenge to get over. It's like taking on weird situations and even continuing to backslide downwards in your life because of romantic situations. Wow. 10 of Wands reversed. Is your overall. Are you going to continue to keep holding all this weight that you don't want to hold? And you really think you're going to get there? I feel like I pulled this card for you guys last week. I don't know why. But maybe this is not going where you want it to go. And I would say that at the same token, it's like what partners and which relationships you want to pick where it's not going to be all this weight that you have to do in this huge fucking mountain that you need to climb for fucking ever to get, and you can't even get there. You're not even there. Like, that's the logic that you're going to have to put into this now. The way they get to this through this challenge is the 10th house. What is the world that you want? You need to make choices. 10th house is Capricorn, right? 10th house is reaching the goal by being an adult and not having emotion. Because guess what? When you deal with world events, when you deal with trying to advance your life, if you're too emotional, it's too hard to make a true decision and to move forward, right? It takes risk. Risk, this is an easy risk. Are you willing to take the risk to get out of keeping yourself in romantic poverty? I think everybody I know in the world would, but for some reason, that's your challenge. You're not, oh man, it's too big of a risk, but I'm going to stay in romantic poverty. And, you know, 5 of Pentacles in reversed is like in a challenge position, is continuing to do this victim story or be with the victim or be with somebody who's not doing that great and you're not doing that great and it's not going well, you know, and you feel shameful by it instead of authoritative to what you need to do. You pulled the Hierophant reverse with this 9 of Swords. It's almost like, you know what, I think that part of the let go is also, I think a lot of embedded belief systems, even religious belief systems that you have about the choices you're making. It's almost like, again, this shame or staying because the family wants you to stay or staying because the religion tells you to stay and it's horrible. I mean, when does it get to a point to where it gets so bad, so empty, to where you continue to hold on to some sort of traditional energy that there's nothing to hold on to left. Even the traditions left you bye-bye and already is fucking, you know, doing shit that they have to apologize for. I'm going to pull Black Mirror for you. The Trump of Lies. Ooh. So either you're dealing with a partner or you're, you know, because Sages are another sign that always are involved in a lot of situations, but if they're in a partnership or you're single, it's like, I think this 10 of Wands is like, are you telling yourself lies that you're going to make it and the weight's so heavy when really the only way you'll make it is to be honest and realize that you have to drop all the weight and that maybe you didn't make it to where you thought it was going to go? Because you can triumph through the lies, through realizing the truth about this lopsided weight that's not actually reaching to where you need to go. There's just like, drop this weight. There's too much weight here. Anything with that much weight is not romance and love, which is why you're in romantic poverty. And it's moving into your bank accounts wise, poverty wise. Capricorn, 8th house Uranus. Whoa. Well, this is firing up the 8th house with Uranus. That's starting a crazy radical engine of your true passions and needs and wants. And with Capricorn there, it's about, I'm going to take the risk for what I deeply want. And also it's truth being exposed. You did pull a card that deals with lies, the triumph of lies. Well, it's like, are you triumphing through lying? Or are you going to triumph through the lies by going to the truth and just being the radical truth and taking authority of the truth of what you want? And it might shock people, it might shock yourself, but at least it's not a lie, it's true.
You know, love's not always going to be easy, but it should be somewhat, it should feel right. You know, we're in that situation. It should feel somewhat organic, you know, and that has to do with getting over those traumas, getting over potentially the lies that you've been telling yourself, lies that have been told to you in the past that you've continued to work through. But there is that situation when it comes to love about being that truthful and honest with that individual and being honest with yourself so that you can acknowledge that within them, so that you can actually let that love grow. Now, whether you're going to allow these blocks to kind of stand in your way and stop that love from flowing, stop that love from its natural state, from growing and flourishing within your life, you know, that's what's going to come down to you. That's those tough decisions that we all have to make every single day. If we are all going to let this past kind of weight us down and pull us back into the depths that we've worked so hard to get out of, you know, we don't want to take those steps back. Sometimes it feels like we're taking a couple steps forward and 5 steps back. You know, and that's not the natural state. That's something that you have to recognize and work your way out of it. But it is just taking those steps and actually acknowledging that you are pushing forward, that you are going to put your best foot forward to say and step into that light. Maybe go touch somebody.
You know, speaking of feet, I was cleaning up the back of the shop, the studios this weekend. I found 2 brand new pair of shoes. This must be yours, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
New Balances.
these are nice shoes.
All right, I'm going to let everybody in a little secret right now. I only F with New Balances because I got wide feet. There's a website called joesnewbalances.com where you can get New Balances for at a very discounted rate. You're welcome.
I was like, these are pretty nice for just sitting on the middle of the floor. I was like, I'm going to at least put them up because I pressure washed all the 10,000
I got
square
those
feet
for like
of space.
$35.
I was like, I don't think he's gonna want to get these wet, but I was like, these are brand new. Maybe I should just put them on and fucking clean them and get them all wet and see what he says. That'd be fucking nice. He would have hated that shit.
Yeah, I spilled coffee all over those fucking gray ones when we were in Arizona. Like 2 days after I got them. It's awesome.
Fucking awesome.
It's great.
Fucking great time.
Great time.
Geminis. What?
Double down, Gemini.
Geminis. It's their birthday time. It's their Venus retrograde. So woo! Them and the Sag is definitely going through the most. The most.
Geminis need to touch somebody.
What did you just say?
Nothing.
Craig and I are socially distanced by a good 30 feet.
Yeah, we're very social distance.
When he ASMRs this shit, I'm always like...
New Balances aren't dorky, by the way. They're the
Is that what you were saying in ASMR? Like,
no.
New Balances are for dorks.
It's joesnewbalance.com.
What am I wearing tonight? Oh, I'm wearing John Vervatos tonight. Some JVs.
I'm wearing my Blackfoot.
I got on some John Vervatos tonight. Nice. Look at that
Exchange. Very nice.
With the Leo King right there. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Oh, am I wearing some?
Work it, own it.
Look at that. I wouldn't be a Leo or a Leo King if I didn't fucking wear some fucking royal shit. You know what I mean? Oh.
And also, he puts on cologne to film with us as well.
I gotta feel the fucking part. It's who I am.
Feel the part. He's gotta feel the part.
You know what I mean?
Good, smell good, feel good, baby.
Yeah, you gotta do the whole thing. You might not be able to smell me until they come out with scratch and sniff fucking YouTube, but once they do, you'll know. All right. Happy birthday, Gemini.
I walk around with my shoes off, by the way. That's why my feet are so dirty.
Yeah, I mean, we did do, I mean, it is midnight. I mean, it wasn't like, hanging around the studio here late at night, it's not like... Well, that's probably why, how funny he's like, oh, and I just took a shower before the show.
I did not.
And Craig just was chilling out, so.
I don't like to wear shoes.
The sign that gets the cigarette tonight is Gemini.
Can I get one of those?
Yeah. Yahtzee, yeah. That was a good frisbee.
Good frisbee right there.
These are fake anyway.
They're the candy ones.
They're the candy ones, so. All right, Gemini, I have to have a talk with you because this is Venus retro in your sign, and the moon's going to come into your 4th house and square the sun, square Venus retrograde this week, while Mars is now creeping up towards squaring Venus retrograde in your sun, and the path you choose right now in love will either get you to the magical world that you want or just an emotional basic life. And I don't think you want just basic. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's way too much intensity that you want with Jupiter and Pluto retrograde in your 8th and with Saturn now in Aquarius. Like, you want a magical, exciting world. Like, I don't know one Gemini that would say, I just want the basic life. No, you want a fucking radical and extreme, awesome fucking wild journey. But for some reason, why are you kind of going into the weird stuff with Neptune and square to Venus retrograde? And, you know, a lot of this is like, are you going to continue to play past patterns of, I'm going to be honest, Gemini, it's like career has a lot to do with this, your partner's career, and if it's going anywhere, and your career. Also, Gemini, are you running into situations where you're the breadwinner and you're going to take on somebody who's not even close to understanding if they really will be or not, but they have a good facade that they are, but they really aren't? Queen of Swords in reverse. Definitely not thinking straight right now. Definitely not knowing which direction to take. Definitely a lot of questions. You might not even be revealing it to your partners or to the 20 million people that you're talking to. But you don't know what you're doing. You don't know in your mind. Or it's like an overconfident surety on things when you haven't really thought about it too much. Like, you know, you pulled the 8 of Cups in reversed. So the challenge is that you're afraid to truly walk away or truly walk back into situations and see what's there. It's one or the other. It's like you're either... The challenge is that I always look at the 8 of Cups as the person's fucking done with the emotions. Like, I'm done, I'm moving on. But with this challenge here, it's like you're having issues with leaving fully behind relationships that don't make sense for you. It's like, let me just keep talking. Let me just keep seeing. Let me do a one night with them. Or if you're in a relationship, like you're too afraid to leave, even though it makes no sense at all anymore logically, and it's not giving you any confidence in where you're going. And it's because you don't have confidence in them. They're not showing the facts that there's confidence there. The overall is victory, 6 of Wands. So I would say that, you know what, you need to pick what's the victorious place for you to be. That's going to be the ultimate victor. So I'd look also at the partners that you're choosing right now, because this is a deep reflective time with Venus retrograde in your sign of mirroring the kind of people in your life of who you are. Are the people in your life victors, or are they false victors? Are they people who carry trophies but didn't do much for them? Reminds me of Steve Aoki, who when he went out and became a DJ and his dad passed away and he got all the Benihana's money and he went and literally paid the festivals hundreds of thousands of dollars to play and got a cake and threw it in people's faces and got popular and big and then paid people to make the music. That's called a ghostwriter. Like, is that really a trophy, or is that just false bullshit? So you need to look at that right now. Like, are you in love with false victors or real victors? Victors who actually do the work and win on the trail and fucking create their life? Or are you in love with the fantasy of people who you think are on their way to victory but never might not ever be? Wow, you pulled the North Node here to get over your challenge. You need to focus on where your North Node is in your chart, but more importantly, where your true life's purpose is. If your life's purpose, let's say for me, is astrology, and I'm with somebody who doesn't believe in astrology, like, am I going to fucking stay on that purpose with somebody? You need to ask yourself that question. Like, the life's purpose and what you're doing right now, maybe it might be in alignment with them, but are they your life's purpose and how they deal also with the emotional world too? Like, there's a lot of questions here. That's why you're in a very questionable space. Like, I would say the most questionable space ever. There's no solid ground here at all. Zero. So, and I don't care what side of the fence you are, Gemini, in a relationship, not, this is all fucking going to be turning towards where the universe is going to bring you on the real purpose. You pulled the Star card. You almost need to go back to the basics of your truth and your real authentic self and follow where the universe is guiding you and what the stars have to say. What does the universe have to say? What does God have to say? What is God telling you? What is God telling you when you're in your truth and not your ego, when you're in your true soul? Instead of using your ego to define these situations right now, or your ego still trying to, use your mind and be like, no, I can make that work. Or maybe when they are this, no, like, what is your soul saying? What is God telling your soul? And that pure space is not to question, but to be an authority of, okay, I've got the data. The data is going to come from that pure emotional, spiritual, intuitive space. You are getting a Black Mirror card. Anger and Chains. You are stuck in a non-victorious situation. It is not a victor. It is a false victor, and you feel trapped, and you feel like you have to stay. When do you really? Do you have to stay, or are you just going to continue to hold your anger inside? Or you're dealing with somebody who's trying to control you and take victory over you, and you don't want that victory at all because it feels controlling and it feels bad and it feels like that they're chains. And you gotta look at that too. And if usually though, that's a projection of more of, though, I would say, your inability to find victory in the life with choosing partners that really are on your purpose, or you're afraid of stepping into that purpose too. Like, there's a lot of fears here. It's like avoiding the call that the universe wants you to do. It's like not listening to God in many ways. So God's just kind of like throwing you in positions where victory won't be had by chaining yourself into places that get you frustrated, or with people that are not on their life purpose. And that's the worst thing to be chained to, especially that North Node cards with the 8 of Cups in reverse. It's like you're having troubles just fully leaving a situation to get you to your life's purpose. Like, talk about weird. Wow, you pulled Scorpio, Uranus, shocking scorpionic 4th house. This is going to shake up your emotional foundation this week to the truth and commitments and death and rebirth. This is going to be a very intense emotional death and rebirth week through shocking, radical, other people's situations, things coming out of nowhere, the truth emotionally coming out. Don't hold on to it too much as far as being addicted to situations either, because it will break you of those emotional chains if you're not going to get out yourself. And it will be more scary to have the chains broken than to just loosely let yourself out of them. I have to go pee, but I'm going to pull the other sign.
All right.
And you can say what you have to say. Aries is next. Take it away, Craig. I've got to pee.
This
Out of my nipple, like an Aquarius in the bathroom.
Oh, nice. Welcome to this installment of Craig's Corner. No, but for those Geminis, and for all of us, we have the ability to change any situation that we're in. We do, even though as scary as it may seem, as hopeless as it may feel, we do have that ability. We have the power within us to grab that, to grab that life that we want. We have it to leave an individual or a situation that's not suiting us. And we know what is not suiting us. Even though we're not always honest, or even though we don't always want to listen to what it is, because it might be hard work, and I think a lot of people these days are afraid of that hard work that we have to put in to kind of change that life. A lot of people have kind of been programmed just to sit back and relax and kind of wait for it to come with us, to manifest it, to believe it into fruition, and that's all great and everything. But I'm a true believer that we need to put in that work. We need to put ourselves through that fire to actually make that change. Now, that fire might be an unhealthy relationship. That fire might be the unhealthy relationship with ourselves. But it comes down to that acknowledgement. It comes down to that want. It comes down to that desire to better ourselves, to better the people around us. I think I talked about it last week. If we're not in a healthy spot, the people around us that love us, that are feeding us that energy, they're going to be feeding on that unhealthy energy also. They know when you're not happy. People that love you and people that are in touch with you know when you're not happy. And it's almost, they can realize it before that we realize it ourselves, because we put up those blockades and say, no, it's okay. That individual makes me feel this way. Or this individual did that and I reacted this certain way. And in terms, I felt like shit. And it's hard to be truthful. It's hard to be honest with us, because we might love that person somewhat blindly at times. There's that blind love. We get infatuated. We build this life with someone, and we almost don't want to tear it all down because of the hard work that we put in. And that's completely understandable. It's heartbreaking when we invest all this time, we invest all this energy into an individual or situation, it doesn't work out. But that's life. That is life. Things are not going to work out. People are going to let us down. We're going to let ourselves down. But it's what comes next that's actually going to define you. Are you going to stay in that ground? Are you going to stay in the mud? Or are you going to pick yourself up? Are you going to change your life? We can't just waste it. We can't just sit here and be complacent. You know, we can't just let ourselves dwindle away. You know, I think that that's the easiest thing to do, is waste away. To be lazy with ourselves, to be lazy with the love, to be lazy with the energy that we put forth and that we give to people, because they might just, you know, give us a smile, or they might, you know, buy us a beer or a drink, and you're like, oh, it seems like a nice person. Oh, they did this. I might invest my time with them, when you know deep down inside that it's not going to be worth it. And of course, you know, there's other situations when, you know, we do want to just kind of go out and enjoy ourselves, and that is great too. But you got to try to do it in a healthy manner. You know, try to pick the best of the litter for that night, for that week, or whatever it is. Something that's going to fulfill you, something that your heart's been desiring, or that your body has been desiring, because we all need that human touch. That's the beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing about life, you know, is that we do feed off the energy of others. We do feed off that touch. I mean, how amazing does that feel when someone touches your skin that you were just infatuated with, that you just have this desire to consume them? Now, I think it's getting back in touch with that is what we actually want to be in this life, the people that we actually want to have in our lives. I think that there's that loss of energy as well with the individuals that we let into our life that, again, that we know aren't going to benefit us, that are just kind of taking this time for fillers. You know, a lot of people just, they move from relationship to relationship just to be in that relationship, just to feel that touch, when it's just an emptiness. It's because they're not fulfilled themselves. It's because we're not fulfilled ourselves. So it's almost like we need to take the time and fill up our own cup before we're going to ever be able to put forth that energy in a healthy manner. So I think that's something that we really need to focus on this. And I hope that people have been taking this time in solitude to kind of better themselves, to kind of figure out what it is that they want in this life and to stop wasting it.
Yeah, you know, as guys, we got to fill the sack in order for it to come out.
Yep.
Takes, I'd say, a good 12 hours for that.
I don't know. I think you went pee right before we started, so.
I wasn't talking about that sack, but.
Oh. Dun-dun-dun.
Like, you just can't, because of your analogy of we need to fill ourselves up, right? Like, this is why guys who like are addicted to porn, right, and do it like 5 times a day, like don't have any energy to do anything because there's not enough time to refill the sack, if you know what I mean. So
They're just tired to take a nap.
Well, yeah. Well, as a guy, we have to take the nap in order to start to regenerate down there. But then it's like, and then if you wake up and do it again, and then you do that every day, 5 times a day, guess what? Like, you're never gonna have full sack of your millions of you that are out there. So I'm saying that taking it from a guy's point of view, it's like, you know, there's times before I race, I don't make sure that it all comes out for at least a good 24 hours because I'm going to go to that race ready to go. Full sack means full testosterone, you know. Ladies are opposite. They're supposed to receive that so they can go. And of course, men, we can show up for that as many times as possible, but we also have to create in our lives too. So we got to know when there's moments where it's like, I gotta not 5 times tonight, dear, but maybe 2. And for me, but you get, you know, as many as you want, but you know what I mean. Aries? Tough crowd tonight. Tough crowd. Aries, it's a great love story when you make changes in your environment and you communicate the stuff that you don't really want to communicate, but that keeps being pushed down. procrastinating what you really want to say, and also procrastinating in such weird ways in your life that you're actually putting yourself into a weirder position. It's almost like, let's say you wanted to go to a concert with somebody and you had the ticket, but you didn't have to get the ticket. You could have at that moment been like, I don't want to go, but instead you went and bought it. Now you're required to go, and now you really don't want to go, and now it's 2 days before, and you have better things in life that have shown up for your life, but you feel this responsibility since you bought the ticket. You don't want to lose money. Are you still going to go through with it instead of just being like, you know what, I really don't want to go, and you put that thing on Ticket fucking Master or whatever the fuck, I forgot that guy who made that site, and sell the ticket, or just give it to one of your friends that you know that's going to be there and have them sell it, kind of old school style at the front and not go. Like, this is where it's like you're putting yourself continually into holding yourself from love, or in relationships continuing to not speak what needs to be spoken about. And also that there's a part of you that needs to look at the facts instead of being so hopeful. Like, well, this is going to be really great. South Node in your ninth is like believing in that this will all turn. Maybe this next place, maybe our move, maybe our next thing we do. It's like trying to find everything you can to fix something without speaking the truth. That's not going to work. So, the
Aries.
Yeah, all right, Aries. Let's see what we got card-wise here. I got the Eight of Pentacles upright. So, this is a card of knowing like your talent, your skills, and doing it over and over and over again to where you know it. Maybe in your relationship, you feel like you've kind of reached this place where it's just like, you're ready for the new skill. You're ready for it to advance. You're ready to move to the next level. So, but if you're going to continue to do the same thing. So if you're single and you don't want to be single and you're continuing to stay single, it's because you're continuing the patterns that continue to make you single. If you're in a relationship and it's still on the same level and you wanted to go to a new level, well, stop doing the same fucking things that you already know how to do. Do something into a new level that you haven't before. It's going to take some sort of risk when it comes to going into a new territory, but I almost feel like you've already mastered this, and so it's time to master the next round, and to not be afraid to master that next round. Goodness comes from both. I don't think that's a bad card to get. Four of Cups in reverse. So the challenge here definitely is feeling like nothing's coming in, when the truth is maybe you're not seeing it. God's trying to give you a lot of different opportunities right now and intuitive messages, but it's almost like you're not wanting to show up for that, or you're not listening to it. And you're feeling like, well, you're not giving me any gifts, but it's like right in front of you, but you just might not be seeing it. Or you feel like, God's not showing up with what you need when God is. It's just you're not willing to take it because you're not willing to see it, or you're really picky. You're like so picky to where you want it to be this exact way, when sometimes God will give you the doorway and then maybe the next turn is exactly the way that you want to see it, Pulled the Six of Cups upright. Now this card has to deal with good memories and a good safe space, and also a genuine space of connectivity. It is kind of like a cousin's card, a brother and sister card, a family card. So there's definitely needing to find that beautiful bond. And I think that beautiful bond can only be found when we start to see the opportunities that are presented to us to come to a level that is different than the way that we're doing things. And so this is a beautiful reading, because it's saying that it's not going to come anymore in that beautiful space that you want by doing the same thing. You're going to have to take a risk and take the door that's opening from spirit, that's guiding you, that you need to accept and know that it is guiding you in that way, and take that new leap. And Eight of Pentacles deals with the kind of work we do, our daily lives and our schedules. Like, are you just a machine to the system? Are you going to open up to be able to be more in a life where you can have more of the beauty and the creation that you want? Wow, you pulled to get through this trouble, the fifth house of creativity, getting back to your creativity, getting back to love, having fun, telling jokes, going on dates, having fun, It's time to go on dates if you're single. It's time to go talk to people, go have fun, set it up, don't block it. God's trying to open up doors for you in this space, but you're blocking it. Now, if it's exes, stay the fuck away. You know what I mean? But this is definitely like, take the opportunities that are there. It's almost like there's an opportunity for more happiness by just not only speaking it, but by getting out of the same cycles and doing the same thing and expecting a different results. You pulled the Strength card. You pulled it reverse. You're too afraid because you're masterful at what you already know. Well, even like, I like how they're using a ballerina here, but she's on a book. But there's something even like a ballerina, right? Like she's going to continue having to move forward to do new moves, to do those twirls and shit. Like, I don't know how they do that shit. But they move to a point to where they're like, okay, master that twirl. It's time to move to a harder twirl. And you've got to have the strength to do that in your love life right now, instead of continuing to just be like, well, I'm good at it this way. It's like, no, this is because you're afraid. You're afraid that you're not going to be masterful in a level that you haven't been before. Taking on a love before that you haven't been, taking on these weird things that you've maybe reached in a relationship and seeing what happens and just showing up for it and trusting the universe. I'm pulling you an Egyptian. I don't think that you need a black mirror. You did pull the Hierophant in reverse. Man, the Hierophant has shown up a lot today, especially in reversal for the fire signs. The Hierophant reversed here with the Six of Cups is, you know, the old traditions that you've been living are not working. And so maybe by getting out of those old traditions, and again, Eight of Pentacles, the same kind of, you know, masterful energy that you're the apprentice that learned everything. Like, you're no apprentice, you're a master. But you're a master when you continue to move forward, and you also let go of the same traditional aspects and belief systems that are causing you not to feel this kind of more beautiful and genuine union in a very positive and beautiful place. And so there's definitely needing to be a change in your schedule, your day-to-day life and how you live, and living in the truth and not letting belief systems kind of, you know, rule you as far as like not expanding them at all. And looking at the truth and speaking your truth. You got Cancer, Jupiter. Wow, that's a exalted Cancer, Jupiter in the second house. Yeah, this is where it's okay to open up your feelings of what you feel that you need, that you feel that's going to make you feel better. Like, but doing it in a much more graceful, emotional way, and doing it in a way that's open to suggestion, open to the other party, open to yourself, though, to explore the feelings that you need in your life that you want to have. If you're not going to open up those feelings, if you're not going to open up to experiencing those new feelings that you've never felt before, the journey of a better feeling life, then you're not going to get shit. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, never allow yourself to be silenced ever. You know, Aries, definitely speak your mind. You know, put yourself out there, even if you're not getting received the way that you should. At least you're putting yourself out there, and that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. You know, you cannot silence yourself. If someone's gonna appreciate you for who you are, then they're going to. If they're not, then it's their fucking loss. You know, plain and simple. But you can't stifle your own power. You can't stifle your own voice or that flame that resides within you. Always push forward. Always let yourself be heard.
Always, always, and always.
Always.
We got the Cancers.
Crap, people.
Where are we at? We got Cancer, and then we got...
I think we got like four.
We have five left total
more.
with Cancer involved. Got five left. Got five left. We all good? Oh, we're good. All right, Cancers. You got the feels all the way, or just a little bit of the way? I thought you were a Cancer, and I thought that you wanted the full feels instead of like, I have to live this life because I believe it'll continue to get me there. No, this is a big 12th house time for you with all these retrogrades in Gemini and a Venus retrograde, right? Mainly. And Mercury coming into your sign is about to wake you up and go, what do I really want? And am I getting my need? You have not had Mercury or any planet in your sign except the moon and the North Node since Saturn arrived on March 22nd in Aquarius, your 8th house of trust, depth, sex, and needs and desires. You're about to wake up if the desires are truly there or not, and you're going to have to make some choices now in your life about, is this really going in the right spiritual direction? Or, you know what, this is like a hall pass to change your environment by letting it go. That makes more logical sense. I know that you feel like you go through loss in life that doesn't make logical sense, but it actually does when you look on the backside of it, but you don't know how to look on the backside. You always look on the front side. And can you really be honest about the truth about if the dream and the vision that you have is even real? Oh, that's the wrong card. So we're going to burn that card. we pulled the Two of Pentacles in reversed. So juggling is what you've been doing, but it's saying to stop juggling. You need to make a choice on what you're going to do in your romantic life now. There's too much juggling going on. Or you're juggling between two different people, or you're juggling between two different ideals, light and dark. And I feel that, you can't feel negative or bad about juggling this, or if the relationship feels like it's super juggling all the time, juggling life, juggling finances, juggling all these things, like you'd think a relationship would truly be there, but there's something about like it feeling like it's not on the same page right now. 8 of Wands and upright is your challenge. So you're afraid to really go where you want to go with love. Cupid's arrows, you feel Cupid's arrows in a certain different direction. The arrows are flying in a new direction, and you're not wanting to do that because you're juggling a bunch of clown balls. So missing out on the arrows of where God's pulling you in love or not. That'll be your big challenge this week. You pulled the Justice card in reversed. So the overall is saying that this is not the most fair thing or an aligned thing. And of course it's not, because the fact that you've been juggling it in your own inner self and your own values. So this is a major arcana card of, this is where the spiritual laws start to come into act of like, you know what? And it's not in your favor just because you might want it to feel like, oh, dismiss the case, please, God. It's like, no, I can't. I'm trying to align you in truth and to the real place of justice spiritually of where things to go. There's something also, maybe you're dealing with somebody, a partner that's just not on the same page, or they're struggling and you're giving too much and it's not back, or you've lost yourself in them and they don't put anything truly into you, but they make it seem like it's just, but maybe there's got to be the spiritual court to kind of understand things a little bit better, that maybe you're not. And this is hard. You have the void of course moon missing. So you've got energy emotionally that's missing. That's why you're juggling, and it's over that 8 of Wands. It's like you're missing things because you're not following what your heart really wants. You feel guilt about it. You feel like, you know what, maybe this will just be a moment of passing, like this will just pass. Maybe. But this has been going on a while. I already can tell just because, King of Coins upright. Wow. It's been going on a while because these are very opposite, a 2 and a king, right? The 2, the ace, and then the 2. The king's the top. Not the ace. The ace is the first. The 2 is the second card. This is the last card of the Pentacles. You pulled the 2 of Pentacles in reversed. What are you juggling around? A better life with a better person, somebody who has more abundance or more things of self-worth, and also that self-worth within you too is that question right now of juggling along if you can really manifest in your love story the life that you want to have, and a lot of it has to do with the physical aspects. The monetary aspects. We're going to pull a dark mirror for you. You pulled Masquerade, which unfortunately, again, I was feeling that it looks justified, but it's not. It's like this masquerade. There's mask that's kind of hanging over this, what looks fair and balanced, which is not, and which is not just in your path at all. And it's the mask that you're wearing of something that's missing. So you're wearing a mask and there's something missing and you're trying to hide. And, I like the term masquerade because that's more of a masquerade, like a ball, right? Like a mask party, so you're creating a party all over your life now of masking the life as a party now and juggling these clown balls inside that you can't hide through the distractions that you're creating, and you can't hide through the mask that you're wearing or about these missing feelings in this other place that your heart keeps sending you spiritually and in life too. Deep. Mercury in the 5th in Gemini. Well, I think that you need to speak your heart 100% to the person that you feel the most heart energy with, and you got to figure out, if you do have a partnership, you need to have communication about where's the love and where's the heart at and see how that is. I would say that you're going to get a lot of communication this week about where love is from spirit. So it's going to come out of, really fast out of nowhere, and it's going to test your heart, and you need to follow what feels better from you instead of juggling, because I think that you've been juggling way too much. And I think that this is going to be the truth that finally comes. Mercury and Gemini, I think God is the only truth that we get in astrology with Mercury. And it's the truth of the love story that's going to happen this week for you. You've been waiting for an answer for a long time, and here it is.
Yeah, I think those Cancers are on the verge of potentially missing out on that message, though, if they don't actually like utilize it and actually don't put forth, I guess you could say, their best foot and kind of getting themselves out. If you could kind of kick yourself in the ass and kind of put yourself in motion, I think that that'd be the picture that'd be shown there, because I think there is a love that's coming now, whether that is with an individual. You know, I think that there could be a turning of the page and kind of leveling up with that love, or if there is someone that's going to be brand new that's coming into it, but you have to be open, you have to be ready to receive so that you don't miss out on that opportunity.
Yeah, and people probably want to know what card I burned because I picked the wrong card at first. It was the Page of Wands in reversed, meaning you're expecting the love story to change and get this new message or get some new gift or get some new, pages deliver messages. They deliver things, especially the Page of Wands delivers it from the King of Love, and you're not getting it. You have to go towards the love that you want. Like, you're not going to just, like, your partner's not going to change, or your love story's not going to change. Like, nobody's just going to just show up and be like, hey, I like you, and da-da-da-da. Like, you have to kind of put it out there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look at fucking Sleepless in Seattle.
Great movie.
They put in a bunch of work to make that happen.
Or what was that one about AOL?
You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail.
A lot of work in that one, too.
That was a lot of work.
They didn't just sit back there.
You had to get on 56K.
No, they didn't. They made that shit happen.
Ah, the Leos. Finally, I get to do my reading. All we have left is Capricorn, Pisces, and Scorpio. Scorpio likes to go last a lot.
Well, you know.
I get to do me and all the other Leos in the universe. All right, Leos. Well, Gemini time, the royal court. Who gets how to be a relationship and understand how to keep kingdoms moving forward through connections and acquaintances and people, and knows how to be social? You can't, as a Leo right now, with Saturn in Aquarius retrograde, pick people that don't know their inner authority in their relationships, because if they're just kind of bystanders, like, that's not going to work. Like, you're looking for the ultimate now, and you need to have love that understands. So if your partner's kind of just floating by and not caring about the kingdom, well, and this is the kingdom that you build together. It's not your own kingdom, you know what I mean? Even single Leos go build kingdoms with other people, right? But it's like, this is where for Leos, it's like, who understands the world and also the relationship stuff. This is dealing with a lot of relationships all over the place for Leos, and having to determine who's a friend and who's not, who's like really understanding of both and wants to be both roles of understanding the social aspects of the world. There's a lot of career stuff with Uranus and Taurus, but I would say that the main thing this week is stop trying to persuade anybody that you want in life or your partner. Own your value and know that you are a powerful like a force in the universe that connects and brings light to the whole world. They either see that light or they don't. And stop fucking trying to lose your confidence because you're going to try and persuade when you don't need to. You just need to own your value and it will come to you. So that's the big lessons for Leos this week. And it's the Hierophant reverse. This card is popping up everywhere. Everybody's supposed to leave these old traditional values. Leos, yeah, it's, this is going to be a weird week schedule-wise. It's not going to be your normal week, but you're also pulling out of a lot of, traditional aspects of how relationships have worked for you, or the ways that you've been trying to approach relationships, or your partner is not working anymore. It's got to change, you got to change the tradition, and maybe this is also a new partner with a different tradition that you've ever been before, or, kind of reversing the way that you kind of make this kind of dedication to the path and how you go to love it's definitely a new way to do it, and to pull out might feel a little bit unique and different. The Four of Swords came out in reverse. So maybe this challenge is that maybe it's like learning to just chill out a little bit more. Maybe you're not chilled out a little bit more. Maybe you feel like you're missing out on something by chilling, when really maybe it's by chilling and just, going a new direction in how you go about love, that it'll give you everything that you want. So maybe this has been you not just relaxing into knowing the glory of who you are, and that the Hierophant reversed is also a reminder not to have the glory of somebody else, right? It's the glory of yourself. And that's going to pull somebody glorious into your life. The overall Six of Swords, you're definitely moving to a better part of the river in your love life. So you're moving to the better side. So I'd say like have some hope, Leo, because I think that, it's kind of felt like you haven't been able to kind of cross to where you want to go in your love life. So this is definitely you moving out of the waters you've been in love and moving to new waters this week overall. So we'll see how that one goes. The Aries card popped up as the way to get through the chill, which is kind of ironic, is just sit in the chill of who you are and the powerful I am, right? The powerful identification of yourself is all you need. That's all you need in life. You don't need to try and persuade or do anything more. All you have to do is just be yourself, and literally everything will come to you. And that's a big lesson to get through this challenge right now that you're going through your life, is just get back to who you are. Get back to the way that you do things in your life. Stop trying to alter. Who cares what other people think, to be honest with you? Like, that means that they're not supposed to be with you. Ace of Pentacles popped up with this Hierophant reversed. So as you're pulling out of these old traditions and glorifications of maybe other people and stuff, you're also pulling out of maybe this whole concept that you need something brand new to come in. But I would say that it's like the only way to get something new is by pulling out of the glorification of something and remembering the glorification in yourself that creates this new you, this new cycle, this new beautiful love life. I think that what you're ending is kind of putting the energy outside of yourself too much and not realizing that you hold the coin to the new world that you want to have romantically by just being yourself and focusing on that. And if love's going to show up, it's going to show up. And it's on that other side of the river by you just showing up on the boat of the love boat, and it will just come. You don't have to really do anything here except focus on you, which is actually pretty easy, but that's been kind of hard with all this Aquarius and Gemini. It deals with the 7th and 11th houses. I'm going to say that's an Egyptian card for the Leos, and we got the Ace of Cups in reversed with this Six of Swords. So it's like the other side of the river is emotionally fulfilled because you're leaving because you feel that you're not getting your emotions met. So I can resonate with this reading, Leos. I know it feels empty. I know it feels like there's nothing physically showing up. I feel like, maybe you feel like you've not proved anything to anybody and nobody sees you, but that's not true. You have to come back to yourself, be yourself, and know that people see you, that people know it, and fill that emotional space up, that you'll get to that other side where it's like you're emotionally fulfilled. And to pull out of this glorification outside of yourself to create this new thing where it's like you do that in yourself, that will create the new thing. It's a Taurus Neptune, and it's in the 6th house. So, this is definitely the values of the lifestyle that you want for love and the dreams you have of that lifestyle. You're going to have to find out where maybe that dream isn't showing up for you. And I think that also at the same time, it's having a good spiritual look at the values and reevaluating your day-to-day life by maybe it's just about your own needs and your own values and just holding those in your life and spiritually knowing those values and watching spirit kind of magically make that reality happen by just owning that value within yourself completely instead of, trying to keep changing things. And so when you change something, right? Like if you buy a phone and you try to keep altering it all the time and keep taking it in, and can you put in a faster this or a better screen or all that? It's not going to be that great of a phone. Like you don't need to keep these are altercations in your life that you keep thinking have to be done in order to make a relationship come or work in your relationship world, where the altercations are becoming too much to where, I'm not a lady, but if, I wore a dress, I'm sure it might be crazy on, hey, oh no, alter this a little bit more, or cut that down, or cut that. It's like too much. Like you don't need to do it's like there's too much stress about trying to change yourself in ways that you don't even need to change yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those Leos need to continue to radiate. I think it's very easy to kind of extinguish that Leo flame when they do get kind of caught up in the world around them almost, and not in their true energy that they have, that true power that's within them. So I think it's very important to kind of tap within that so that that flame can just kind of
they need to what? Like, ain't no party like a fucking Leo party, baby.
No, we know where the real party's at. It's coming.
Well, how about, is it a Pisces party?
Definitely not. Sorry, Pisces. You're cool, though.
I know, I was pretty intense on Pisces last week.
Pisces.
We are down to 2 more after this. We're at the very end of the show. Somebody had put, am I nocturnal? Do we ever sleep? It's like, well, yeah, I don't know. Remember, we were in the White Wizard in Mayan Galactic Code until the July 26th, July 26th, 27th, which means timelessness. So those living on the time system and lost in that, you'll notice that it doesn't feel normal. It feels weird or more in alignment when you're in timelessness. It's kind of weird. All right. To talk about timelessness, Pisces, all you have to do right now is find your true emotional happiness, but you have to wake up to what that really is, to a real place. I know comfort means a lot to you when it comes to happiness, but are you really truly comfortable? I think that's a big question, especially when, there's going to be a lot of mutable T-square action, and it's going to be in relation to your relationships. And if you're lost in an identity that's not really the reality of the relationship that you're in, you have to look at the mirror reflection of your partnerships and see if they really reflect who you really are. And I think that this is going to be a big question. Like right now, stop trying to reach for the big dreams or reach for the big goals or reach for the big job. South node's in your 10th. Right now, North node's in your 4th. Mercury's going to pass it. Focus on, is this the right foundation in your life? Is this the right place where you're living? Is this the right partnership because it's bringing me the emotions I need? Stop trying to maybe prove to a partner or go into a partner's direction by being some big thing. It's always a big letdown. South node in the 10th transit, I'm just sorry to say. 9 of Pentacles upright. Yeah, this is about you realizing the power of the universe that you are by just being it within yourself and attracting everything that you want. I think that this is what I was just talking about right there in the astrology is like, are you sure that you're just putting yourself in the emotional place to draw in everything that you want in your life, that you don't need to go create some master plan to reach it and prove something? Like, like I said last week with when she showed up, this 9 of Pentacles, I'm like, I'd fucking ask for her number because she emits that much knowing of value in herself. She's not like attached to some outer source or some outer thing. What she's attached to is the power within herself in the universe. That's a big question that you have this week, if you have that. You did pull the 7 of Swords. Womp, 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 womp. In your challenge position, there's a lot of... There's even I think is that a dog or is that... No, that's a dog. There's a lot of Pinocchio stuff going on. The nose is getting big. Little lies. Little white lies. Little white lies about what you really want in your life. Or are you having to hide a relationship? I'm going to call that one out right now, Pisces, because you can't fully expose what you're doing there. Is it really a drawing in? Like 9 of Pentacles is not hiding. And so I think that Pisces too also is like, are you lying to yourself about the greatness that you can have? Are you creating lies to yourself or white lying to other people about excuses of why you can't be in your great self? You're too afraid to expose your true self. Be careful. That 7 of Swords is the card of lies, and you got it in your challenge. And you know what creates, when you create lies, people lie back to you. That's the hard reflection. But I would say that this is the lies that you're telling to yourself about, like, that you can't draw in anything in your life and you're not showing up for things fully, or you're having to hide things. You did pull the Eight of Wands upright. So gosh, all you have to do is just step into your magical power and step forward. Look at that. I love how there's a portal. It's almost like get into the love, get into the portal, and it will take you to where you've always dreamed in your life, but you're telling yourself the lie that that's not possible. That's that horrible bridge that you're creating. You're creating this bridge of lies that you can't go to the most beautiful place because you're convincing yourself and you're convincing others that you can't walk through the portal. You're making up excuses. And look at that. It's because of this Chiron healing. It's like, I need to heal. But you know what? That's the biggest lie you've ever told it yourself. Once I've lost this much weight, once I've gotten this surgery, once I've gotten this fixed, once I'm not feeling bad about my sinuses today, or I'm not feeling bad about my ears that hurt, or I'm not, it's always something. So you keep playing this, I have to heal first. That's the biggest lie you are telling yourself right now. That's your excuse, because what? People are gonna, feel sorry, especially during these times, for people who are like, I'm not feeling well, I'm sick. Especially now with this world now, it's like, oh my God, anything that you want. You don't need to pay rent anymore, da 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 da. I'm just saying that just as an understanding to get to you, when it's like, you are playing this card so intensely right now. This whole, I need to fix myself, I need to heal, or the past dealt me horrible hands and I'm not ready to deal with those hands. These are all lies you're telling yourself and you're telling other people to not step into your power and to not go into the greatest love story of your life. Look at that. You got this Four of Swords. You just need to chill in your power, chill in your greatness, and step through the portal. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're protected. You're in a room. The swords are up. There's nothing, But this is also laziness too. Are you lazy to step into your greatness? Maybe the excuse is so you can be lazy? Wow. Because, it's a lot of lies. Like, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do this. But most of the time you're just probably chilling in bed, or you're just sitting in the bathtub, or you're sitting in the shower, or you're avoiding things completely because you're afraid. I'm pulling you a black mirror. Why? You pull the lie card. Black flower fragrance. Look at you. You're afraid to step into the essence of life. You're afraid to step into the beauty of it, the physicality of it, and feel and sense and smell and taste the most amazing journey that you want. It's like you're denying yourself of the physical elements of love, the physicality of it completely. Like, you don't want to feel the fragrance and the elegance of life. And look at, she is confident in her beauty and her scent and even that black flower represents the shadow sides of yourself that maybe you're blooming, but that shadow side is also about to find the light, right? So, but you have to be willing to step into your true light by moving through your shadow, but it's not something that you can continue to stall. This is a lot of stalling. Chiron, Four Swords. And with this, what are you stalling? You're stalling to not feel anything good? And that stalling is making you not feel good, which is creating the lie constantly. You don't feel good because you're not stepping forward into goodness of what you really want, what you desire, what you want to feel fully. You pulled the 9th house Venus Libra. Wow. Go experience relationships. Go, you don't know till you know, right? You have to go on the journey of love. You have to go on the journey of beauty. You have to go experience it. You have to open the doors. You have to believe in it too. If you don't believe in it, you're not going to get anything. Like, you have to also realize that relationships are what are going to open doors for you to better places in your life. Instead of telling yourself the lie that you're sick and you got to keep getting healed, that's a really bad lie.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
I'm pulling one card for that lie. I feel really weird, but Knight of Swords in reversed. Wow. The biggest lie is that you don't even want to move forward into any excitement. You want to be rescued, but you don't want to be rescued. The second that you ask somebody to come rescue you, you push them away. That's all I have to say. That's gnarly.
Yeah, I'm taking that black flower as a lotus. You know, I mean, who would have thought that lotus, that beautiful flower, would have derived from the fucking muck, through the mud, through the darkest waters, through that poisoned soil in some aspects. You know? But that it has grown. It's penetrated that water. It is out. It's breathing. It is thriving. It is that life that could be you, but you can't get caught up in the turmoil and the situations you have to get through. You know, you are growing, you are continuing to push forward, and you are going to blossom out into that sunlight.
Boom. Just, wrap me up in some of that black flower magic. Capricorn, so that means Scorpio's the last.
Saving the best for last.
But there ain't no greater achiever than Capricorn, but only when they step into the platform to achieve the truth and happiness that they want, instead of deny that achievement and only keep holding on to the trophy in which they don't even want anymore. They'd even throw it away in the trash. Cappies, pretty simple. Time to make major life changes now. We've been talking about this, but it's time for you to take a deep look at what other possibilities are out there. Maybe you've been trying to figure out and understand situations that make no sense. Well, maybe you need to go take a look at other places. Maybe you need to go, maybe change in my reality comes when I do open up to a new door, or I do take that journey to a new place that I've never been before, and not be afraid, not have these weird kind of feelings. There's an excitement for your love life right now that's possible by opening up to a totally new idea of how love could look, or new places to go with relationships. But there's some part about you that has this really weird part about yourself that's I'm still trying to find who I really am. It's yeah, you'll find who you really are by fucking going and seeking and changing to the life that you want now, and not stalling and staying in South Node Sag. K2 in the 12th is the hardest transit anybody can go through for 18 months. By staying in repetitive patterns, by staying in stalling, by staying in the fear of loss. You need to realize that the fear of loss is holding you from the reality. The part of you that's hermiting and staying in the same place and not changing anything and not being willing to go and change your life physically is going to keep you contained in a jail. Well, you got the Page of Swords upright. So you know what? Speaking is amazing. And I would say that this is a week where you can finally, speak your truth. Other people might speak their truth. Or this could lead to somebody might say something that might lead to a conversation that you've been waiting to have, but you've been waiting for that fucking moment, and it finally happens this week. Or if somebody reaches out to you this week and you're single and you want to do it, what are you doing? Are you going to question yourself? This is a message that not a lot of people get. Page of Swords brings amazing messages from spirit and the truth, and very clear messages. There's also a very clear message in general for all Capricorns, relationship or not, on what to do. Are you gonna act on it? You did pull the Knight of Wands in reverse. So your challenge is you're not galloping towards the happy place in your life. You're holding yourself from galloping towards the most amazing, romantic journey in your life, wherever that is. Maybe that Page of Swords is trying to say yes, here it is. But you're well, I don't know if I should do that. Should I really gallop towards the most amazing love of my life? Again, I think a lot of people are dealing with shame. And I think that this is where part of your shame is you feel shame to actually do the truth. Isn't it more shameful to do a lie? Queen of Pentacles in reverse is your overall. So if you're gonna keep not galloping towards the true love in your life and the truth that comes out, guess what's gonna happen? You're not going to feel abundant at all. And this hits your bank account, this hits your ability to manifest, this hits your ability to nurture yourself through what you need in your life to feel good and to manifest and feel comfortable and to feel self-worthy. And this is going to affect your self-worth really negatively, especially your physical body, appearance, all these kind of things. Especially if you're not willing to gallop towards the true happiness in your life where you want to go. It's like, why is that coming up? The reason that's coming up is the earth element stability. It's like, you know what? You don't feel maybe stable in a situation. And so maybe there's a situation that's showing up that you would feel more stability or the values and what you need in your life that you need to gallop towards, that the message is this week. Or it's the message in yourself that you know you need to say. Because there's something going on here where the stability is off. Or you don't feel like you even want to be stable in something and keep triumphing, into this because it's not obviously that stable with the Queen of Pentacles that follow it. The reason why I got that Page of Swords is the Page of Swords. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you know. Rapid fire. You got double Page of Swords. I don't think I've ever seen that in Deep Love Tarot in over a year. The message is so clear this week. You're going to get it. You have the ultimate opportunity in your life to see where to go, and don't shame yourself. Put the stability of your truth and where you really want to go with your heart and go towards it. Stop being in denial of the truth. Stop blocking the truth, and stop blocking. People are trying to get in touch with you, whether that's from God to physical people, and you're blocking it. Why? Now, if it's X's, I understand. Don't do the X's. This is Page of Swords, and you got it twice. Are you afraid of real stability? Are you afraid of your physicality? There's a lot of physical issues going on here with Caps. I'm going to pull, what is your mirror here? Your dark mirror. Forgetting oneself. Wow. You forgot who you are. You forgot the beauty of who you are. You forgot the greatness that you are, especially with the Queen of Pentacles reversed. You forgot how beautiful you really are as a person and what you can have. And so you know what? You're denying both Page of Swords that see the true self and see the greatness within you, and you're not letting them in because you're like, well, I don't want to let anybody in or gallop towards that, or I don't want to gallop towards that. And you know what? It's like you're afraid of actually that you believe that somebody would actually see the beauty and the value and the stability of who you really are. It's like you're creating kind of this, I need to be rescued when I feel stable in myself. That's a lie. When I feel like I can be happy, it's like you're denying yourself of your true happiness. That's why you're not happy. 10th house, Aries, Neptune. Well, guess what? You got to make some choices about who you are and make sure that you're not blocking what you really want in your life to achieve and to have in love, because there's some subconscious part of yourself that's creating some sort of delusional identification of how a relationship should look, how it should be, how it should come into your life, what timing it should come into your life. Why are you blocking all that? Why, when you know, I'm going to be honest, Page of Swords twice, it's not only other people that know and you know, this is almost like people are talking to you subliminally in a weird way, and you're talking to them, but you don't even want to you're too afraid. You're too afraid. I don't know why you're so afraid, because you've created this delusion of like staying with, I don't know, somebody who fucking doesn't make any sense for who you are because it's of integrity to stay, and it's all this shit and they don't even have it. It's like the delusion that they have power, but they have no power. And then it's the delusion in yourself that you don't have the power to be into something beautiful and great. And you keep blocking that and not allowing that in. There is some major energy trying to come into your life and talk to you. And if you block this shit, good luck for the rest of your life. Because I don't think you will ever see again in my life, not only on a Venus retrograde in Gemini with all this Gemini energy, but 2 Page of Swords on top of each other.
It's like that slow motion train wreck, that you can't just turn your head and stop watching. You can see that it's coming. If only there was that one aspect that it could change, but that train wreck is your life, and you can change it. You can change the trajectory in which you're heading. You got to tap back into that self-appreciation. You got to tap back into that self-love. you got to right the ship. It might be hard, but it's going to be worth that payoff at the end. You know, it's going to bring that abundance in. It's going to bring that self-appreciation back to you that maybe you've kind of lost. You know, maybe you've lost your way just a bit when it comes to you look in the mirror and you don't know what the hell that is that's staring back at you, but it's you. It's always you.
What's coming up my leg? Scorpio?
Say that again?
I said, what's coming up my leg? Scorpio? Is it coming up or is it going down?
Oh, we're always going down, baby. Because you know there ain't no party like Scorpio party, baby! Ow! Who?
So the question is, are the Scorpios going in or are they pulling out?
We're going down.
You guys are going down?
Always.
Really?
Always.
Are you going fully in now or are you hesitant to go fully in?
Only time will tell, my brother.
Oh,
Only time
little
will
subconscious came out the whistle. Whistle while you contemplate that. Serial killers whistled before they killed half the time.
Well, I
To
guess you're
keep their
fucked
subconscious from coming fully out.
Seeing as how you're the only other person here and I'm not about to commit suicide, guess you're fucked.
Good thing, though, is that no fixed signs are serial killers. It's all the mutables. It's the Sages, the Geminis, and the Virgos are the ones that killed.
What about HRC?
Well, she didn't do it herself. She hired people. That's a different story. Scorpios don't got time to go kill people. They already are.
Ain't got time for that shit.
So Scorpio, I mean, this is the question. Are you in or are you out? 8th house, Venus retrograde. Are you ready to dive fully in or are you still hesitant? Well, I think that for you, it's okay to be hesitant because why would you dive into something that doesn't make logical sense? Like if the person is not really that great for you, they might not fit your reality or they might be kind of a weird person that doesn't fit in at all to what you're doing and what you really want in your life, or you wouldn't want to take them home to mom and dad with Saturn in the 4th house and with Jupiter and Pluto in your 3rd. It's like, here you are trying to find the ultimate stimulation in your life, but are you going too weird into places of stimulation and missing out on the stimulation of the internal truth of the power and the depth and what you're being called to? You're being called somewhere, but are you avoiding that calling by going into distractions? Especially in people. Are you distracting yourself on people that you already know are just a waste of fucking time?
Not this Scorpio.
This picture makes me laugh so hard. King of Wands. Look at him. Dun, 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 dun. I am the master of my love life. So this is a great week for love for you. I think, though, if you don't feel like that the person that you're looking at, including, because you are the King of Wands, so you're in a good stalled place for love. But if they really are not that big of a king or they really don't have that much power and it's an act, it's a show, run, or they're not taking that seriously by the world, run, this is a great week for you for love, but I would say that choose wisely and it's okay. I mean, it's Gemini and you're definitely kind of looking around at different things, but already, but the curiosity is what killed the Scorpio in this case. Don't go to the curious situations where you already know I can't find the depth that you need in all aspects. Could you bring this person home to your family? If you have kids, would you want to bring this person around your kids fully? Look at this. Your challenge is the Hangman. So you feel stuck, but I think that's the challenge, is that you're not. What you're stuck on doing is not going towards the real happiness that you really want to go for in your life. You know exactly where you want to go. You've spent enough time. This is sometimes a long time. Maybe you've been focused on this person a long time. Maybe in this relationship it's been stuck for a long time, but you've been focused on how to define the passion and define the love in it. But especially don't think about exes. This is like not going to work in that space.
Oh my
Well, you pulled the Eight of Swords upright, the toxic card of being sick and being blindfolded, and this is all by yourself. This is what I was worried about. This is what I'm worried about, Scorpio, is making wrong choices based off people that you already know are not going to work and are off just stimulation and not full depth. Like there's energy that you know will bring you the depth that you need and the stimulation, but you're too afraid because either you're afraid to just be honest about wanting to experience that and you know it'll be intense. If you don't and you go to the curious little, I'm going to call it side pieces, oh fuck. Could end up in a really fucking shitty situation. Could even be talking to you right now and you might be doing some crazy side thing and I'm telling you right now it's not going to work. It's actually going to put you into hell. So that's what you got to be careful of. Distractions. People that are just wasting your time for distractions. They're pulling you from your truth and they're pulling you from great situations that could pass on you because you were too curious in stupid places. And look at that, the Grand Cross Provoker. You know what? The universe is trying to provoke you into getting out of this stuck position. You know where you're supposed to go. Yes, it's going to be like, wow, this is going to be a lot. It might not feel like it fits because it feels like everything is just all over the place, but this is what's creating the sacred geometry to actually be able to move you through the portal of truth. And you have to allow yourself to face. It might feel like this is a lot of pressure, but it's good pressure. And it's like, why are you afraid of the good pressure? So you're picking the easy situations with no pressure? The side piece, the side talk, the side question, the friend that maybe, I don't know. Look at this. You pulled King of Wands on King of Wands. I don't know how the fuck the last two signs of the zodiac pulled the same fucking card twice in the same position. You are in double love. Oh man. Double love. Double King of Wands. You have no doubt in your mind about what will bring you love. Don't fucking go to places that you already know aren't just to fulfill yourself for a moment. Because you will not get that fucking full love. You'll miss the boat. You'll be left behind. It's Scorpio. I think we should do a dark mirror. They would hate me if I didn't do a dark mirror. Your dark mirror over this toxic situation that you could come into is blinded to pain. You already know the pain by going down certain places and certain roads that you shouldn't, or this might not be physical either, just like the past or an ex or just somebody also as well that you know will just bring you pain, and being blind to it. Like, oh, I'm not going to see that. Maybe it'll go better. No, yeah, it won't. It'll just bring you to the most toxic. That's what I'm saying. You have the most best situation I've ever seen and the worst. Which one are you going to choose? It's a little bit of the angel and the devil thing going on. You know, this is where you're at in your life. The devil energy is just pain itself. That angelic energy is finally having confidence and power and happiness and not even thinking about pain in life. 10th house, Cancer, Neptune. Okay, it's time for you to emotionally realize in order to reach the love that you want in your life, you need to have an emotional foundation that makes sense. Somebody that is emotionally invested and nurturing. But with Neptune there, you might be deceiving yourself into creating that somebody might be able to either have the authority or have career done when they don't, or have foundation and have emotions when they don't. Like, or both, right? Like, oh, they don't even have a really good emotional foundation and they don't have their career shit figured out right now. Oh, and I'm going to try and fucking find love in that situation? No. You got to be an adult. You got to think about the emotional needs that you want, and you need to pick the spiritual emotional needs that you want to get you to the ultimate quest instead of the escapist the addict or the lost puppy part of yourself that's just kind of trying to find some sort of weird magical stimulation off a quick fix. That is Deep Love Tarot for you, everybody.
Boom.
Any final words, especially as you are Scorpio, to reflect on your own reading for Scorpio?
You know, with this love that we have presented in front of us, I think it is that we look at it with, an untainted eye. I think that we do need to get ourselves out of the depths of that thought process of not necessarily unworthiness, but of just wanting to reside down in the depths where we like it. I think it's time that we do get out. I think that it's time that we trust people. That being said, people can go fuck themselves.
Didn't feel deep enough.
Deep.
I will say, Scorpio, distractions don't even have to be other people, but distractions of trying to figure things out too much, like a mad scientist, right? Third house, Jupiter, Pluto. That's the most extreme energy. It's never happened in Capricorn in our lives. Now Saturn's coming back. These distractions off trying to figure out things that are pulling you away from your love story, or even trying to figure out love story as if it's like a scientific handbook. Like, let me get the fucking book on how to get a motor off a fucking old Chevy 67 fucking Camaro 327 small block. Can I get that diagram, please? That's not love. So, but some Scorpios are going to be into distractive places with people that they already know is a no, and distracted energy off just things in their own personal lives that are just a waste of time, when maybe the cure to figuring out whatever you're trying to figure out is by just stepping into the ultimate happiness and love and depth there. So that is Deep Love Tarot. Hope you enjoyed. Please share this video, since somehow we have been beeped.
Boop, boop. We are on the map.
We were really on the map, and then
Now we're on the map that we don't want to be on.
somebody either doesn't like us or something. Or just the more truth we put out, the more whatever. But that doesn't stop us. That's why we're on High Vibe. So make sure that you join highvibe.tv, and you'll see the ultimate of what we do. If you like this show, this is just one little sliver of a whole entire network of other people, including all myself and all my exclusive content. So definitely check it out on the apps or the website, highvibe.tv. So thank you, Craig. And
Thank you.
Deep Astrology is going to be Wednesday. And I think we might do full disclosure maybe Thursday. I don't know yet.
Yeah, probably Thursday.
Probably Thursday.
Got a busy day tomorrow.
Adios.
See ya.